Our band of adventurers, the God's Headache, had recently been doing some work in the Kingdom of Dra. After a journey to the town of Yol, you found it to be partially destroyed due to a dragon that had decided to take residence in a nearby mountain. Deciding to help the townsfolk, you climbed up the mountain, mostly with the help of some spells, where you encountered said dragon. And through a long and destructive battle, you emerged victorious. Fearing the wrath of the spirit, if you were to take from the Horde, and with the stability of the cave worsening, you decided to try to bring the dragon's corpse down the mountain as a sort of trophy. However, due to the sheer weight of the dragon, and a slight mishap with the telekinesis spell, the dragon was pushed 300 feet down the mountain, where even now it lays in a pool of its own blood at the bottom. Surveying the corpse of the dragon, you found upon a elven hunter whom had forgotten her name years ago, who you named Bo. Bo let you take refuge in a nearby cave, seemingly vanishing as she entered it, and leaving behind nothing but her own bow. As you decide to return to the city of Exeter and the Kingdom of Jurhan, news greets you that the Queen Mordrin had been assassinated, and the person to take her place as Queen of Jurhan was none other than Nemesis's mother, Natalia Fallow. Realizing the situation, you met with Tiberius and Rogan, the latter of which had escaped Jurhan, though at loss of one of his allies. It was then that Rogan unveiled his plan. A civil war was due to break out, due to splits between the Fallows and the Roners, inciting an old law that, in times of war, the ruling family's next of kin would take over, or if that family does not want or is dead, the closest related family would become rulers. It was then that Rogan revealed two important facts about him. His full name is Rogan Villant, Nemesis's uncle, and also Norium's father. With this information in mind, and with a plan to go to the cities still considered neutral in this ever-growing conflict, that is where we left off. So, God's Headache. As you leave the headquarters of the Paladins of Brightspark, there is now a heavy weight in just what is happening in Jurhan. A kingdom already ravaged by war with the Gilgamesh Horde, about to rip itself apart even more in civil war. What do you wish to do?
Well, I don't know what you guys are doing, but I'm probably going to go to Summerdale, where I assume that Nori is staying.
I'll get a bottle of alcohol and bring it over there.
Calhoun's been rather quiet in all this.
Just trying to think. So yeah, I'm probably I think it's probably a good idea to go to what's our estate called again?
Summerdale.
Summerdale, that's it.
keep in mind in terms of Summerdale as well that with it near completion, the Lord's Guard that are currently looking after it will be leaving. Now, if you remember way back, you did ask Karluf, who was the one who was looking after the construction, to send out like advertisements and such for guards and staff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we get any? Okay.
Well, we would have to go check if we got anything like that.
I think before we head to Sunnydale.
Summerdale.
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 Sorry. Before we head to Summerdale, can I go shopping?
Sure.
I would like to go
Okay.
to. Okay, is there like a fan? This is probably quite an obscure thing. Or I guess maybe it won't be operating in a war-torn city. But is there a place where I could get like fancy stationery?
I mean, the Exeter isn't on the front lines yet, so it's not exactly war-torn.
Okay, so I would like to, in the many department stores of Exeter, as I imagine there are, buy a fancy well, not ornamental, but like a fancy, high quality sort of writing set of like quill and ink bottle.
That's a writing set, honey.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a writing set.
That's certainly a writing set.
I know, but I was just
Fucking, what are the rest of you doing in the meantime?
I'm hunting down your fucking brother.
Oh, good. So you're coming with me.
I'm gonna get a bottle of alcohol and bring it to the manor.
Well,
I just got
can
back, by the way.
could you go and see how the advertisements are and everything?
Sure thing.
Okay. What did you say, Anna?
I had just gotten back in between
Oh, okay.
Ed's ramblings.
Yeah, about how he wants a special writing set with ink and pen and, everything.
Okay, shush.
He's just trying to make sure his point gets across.
Yeah, be descriptive.
Does it also have a little wax? Does it also have a little seal for wax?
Oh my god. I'm gonna hurt you.
Please hurt me.
Could he get one custom made to look like his face with his beard?
What are you doing, dirt child?
Seems like there's a war going on. It's weird.
Okay.
Okay.
And just for the sake of argument, since, Raya's sitting out and Vis isn't here, Vis is just gonna follow Nemesis and Fortune. I just roll to see
Okay.
who's gonna follow.
Then since Calhoun is still here. Well,
We could always have him and Raya hanging up in the inn.
well, we're supposed to part ways.
Yes,
I brought you to Exeter so that you could do your business.
Yes, and with a war, there's going to be much business, much bloodshed to revel in.
Then I suppose this is where we part.
Indeed, until we meet again on the fields of battle.
Ever a joy.
He gives a short bow and walks off to places unknown. Okay,
He walks off into the sunset.
so
And then like an hour later, it's like we arrive there, and it's like compatriots, I found a fantastic job as a bodyguard for the estate. Oh fuck.
Okay, so I think we'll stick with those that are currently in extra at the moment, since Summerdale is a little bit out of extra.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Trufnar, you can find a fancy writing set.
Thank you.
Since it's a more higher quality, like it's the person that you speak to like describes like the various parts, like how the ink is typically used for inscribing spell scrolls, and how the feather of the quill is from a griffin.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. The person buying this for loves fancy shit like that. He love all that.
Yep. So it's 35 gold for a full writing set.
95 gold.
A fancy writing set, I should say.
Time to sew my calculator together and hope the numbers like me after scoring open their home. 8 minus 35 is that amount of money. Okay, cool. And yeah, I just put down the 35 gold.
Okay. So you have a fancy writing set.
Yay! I'm gonna write so many letters. Yeah.
Alright. So
Just trying to think. Do I hear anything? Does anything catch my ear while I'm sort of just walking around the markets and the streets of Exeter?
in terms of the town criers,
Yeah.
the only things that you mostly hear is what you already know about the assassination of the Queen. The only other one that you hear is pretty much all what you've already been told about how there's a clampdown on on various organizations in Jurhan, and the threats of war looming.
Okay, cool. Just checking. Just making sure it wasn't like 200 gold bounty for the group of vigilante terrorists known as God's Headache or anything like that.
Nope.
Okay, good.
Don't jinx us.
Yeah, that was a hideous jinx. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Natalia's already been fucking looking. Like, come on.
That is true. She's already off of Nemesis. Yeah.
So
Met a secret nerd.
Delson and Gratian. Well, first most, you are able to get some beer. Like, you're able to get a bottle. I assume you go to one of the taverns, which the one that you know instantly is the Raven's Call.
Yep.
And you're able to get a bottle of Brynjolf. It's about a silver for a full bottle.
Fair enough. Let me just mark that down. Okay, it's been marked.
Alright. Yeah, you don't remember Brynjolf?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It has been a while since we've been here.
E to the R to the Y to the Njolf.
Brynjolf is in Brynjolf
I remember
Skyrim.
Brynjolf, and I don't remember names.
As in,
Yeah,
it's
I do
spelled
remember
the exact
too.
same as Skyrim's Brynjolf.
Yeah.
Who was the guy who brings you into the Thieves Guild?
Yep,
From memory?
that guy.
Yeah.
Right. And then, so you go to the Coggles Manufactory, which is where Harloof is.
Ooh.
You ask about. Takes a bit, but eventually, Harloof meets you at the front. You can see he's still the same as ever. Still has the brushy beard. Looks a bit tired. You assume that he's been ran ragged a bit with everything going on. But he greets you warmly. Aye, you lot, you're, Delrin, I think?
Sounds about right.
Delrin, right.
That's it.
I mean, sure.
So, what brings you to the Cargill's manufactory?
Well, we placed advertisements for guards for a manor.
Guards and staff
So
for
we're here to see if-
Summerdale, aye, right. So, that must mean that the one lass, Nemesis, got me message then. Right. Well, I got some news. I wouldn't say it's bad news. Summerdale's not fully done yet. I mean, it's livable, but we're still finishing the tower off, and we're trying to get the plumbing for the bathroom sorted, and some rooms still need some furnishing, but we got most of it down pat. Should be on schedule by the end of the month, hopefully. Now, in regards to your staff and guards, well, got a few people. Few groups. The guilds have, of course, offered their services. Few individuals as well. However, you just paid us to put up the advertisements. I told you that you're going to have to interview these lot yourselves.
Of course.
Now, I got their details, and I can send invites out to them at any point. You just need to tell me where and when.
Understandable. I shall. Gration, do you think they would be alright with us sending out the invites for maybe maybe a day or two from now for some interviews? Of course, I think we shall do that then.
Alright, you want me to send them out tomorrow? Or for tomorrow?
I would like you to send them out tomorrow.
Okay, and when and where?
When would be about 2 or 3
I'm
days
just
from
thinking
now.
about how I made a mistake right now.
So, like, 2 or 3 days after, like, including today? So, like, the day after I send them out, or the day after that?
The day after you send them out, or the day after the day
Oh my god.
after you've sent
Jesus.
three from today.
Don't try too hard.
Okay, and when? Where, even? Whereabouts are you having these interview stuff? Kinda need to let them know. They're not psychic.
We'll have the interviews at the Raven's Call.
Alright. Alright.
We'll start it at around 8 a.m.
Sure. Alright, I'll do that then. Also, one thing, a fella came by, asking about Summerdale, saying he had a whole bunch of horses for him.
Oh, yes, that is
Nemesis prized horses.
Oh yeah.
yeah, that was right.
Now, I'm fairly sure, but did you guys ask for a stable to be built? I remember a tower, I remember a chapel, but there was a third one.
There's no way we didn't ask for a stable to be built.
We definitely asked for a stable.
We have magical beings. How could we forget?
Right, okay.
Well, at the time, we had actual horses. Okay, we had sub-actual horses.
So it was a stable, right? So we built that correctly. We must have made a mistake with the size of it.
Oh boy.
It shouldn't be a problem. We, clearly our mistake. Weren't aware how many, horses you had. We normally, it's normally a standard size kind of deal. If we'd known more, then, we'd build it. Currently,
Didn't expect a herd.
Right.
since they're addressed to Nemesis, if you're spotter, tell them that they're currently at the stables here in Exeter until we can get the ones at Summerdale built a bit bigger.
Understood then. Thank you for that.
No problem.
Now I'm really glad that Nori's here. Fucking.
Also,
He can deal with all this shit. He's the smart one.
Also, it's now just
Yeah.
clicked to me that growing up, Nemesis was 100% like the horse girl at school.
She
We
is.
established this.
Yes.
Also as well with the lad that came by, he just kind of like walks about. The Nemesis last seen here, is she not like waiting outside? Is she?
Unfortunately, no.
All right. The lad wanted me to pass over a message to her, but if you're still around with her, then I suppose you can trust him. He said to tell her that her brother's over at the castle. He's been given permission there. Must be a very popular person.
Of course, I shall relay that message.
Right, I'll work on getting these invitations out.
Thank you for that.
And he heads back into the cogs manufactory.
Roll inside. Nori doesn't have any friends.
In RP, he's only popular because he's a main fucking character.
Oh my
Aw.
god. Nori has friends, maybe?
No, he doesn't. He has Nemesis.
That counts, maybe.
No,
They have each other.
no. Nemesis
Funny.
could get her horse husband. Nori just.
To
he got
be
plot
fair,
armored.
Nem and Nori, technically both, like, they did not have any friends before this. All they had was each other.
At least Nemesis has charisma.
I think Nori's actually very charismatic.
His only friend is his sister and his familiar.
Yeah, he has an 18 in his charisma.
One of them,
yeah.
One of them is out of familial responsibility, and the other one is it's literally his animal friend. Like that's what you can't have a familiar that doesn't like you.
After a few minutes of just kind of like standing there, Haluf sort of like quickly runs out, towards you again. It's like, oh, okay. Forgot to bring these. Sorry, head's all over the place. Here, he hands you three rolls of parchment. The floor plans for your manor. Figured you best want to see them. We've done everything we need with them. And we've labelled what each one's currently designated for at the moment.
Thank you.
And
I will take them and
I'll just throw the floor plans into campaign notes.
Yay!
We get
yeah.
It's not fancy, it's literally floor plans.
It doesn't matter, it's a base! We can start with this! I will not draw the manor.
Will you draw rooms in the manor?
Oh, you know they're already getting the one bedroom.
There's a fucking chapel. They could just get married there.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, there's only one bathroom for us? Are you kidding me? There's not the master bedroom with the master bathroom connected? Oh,
The manor's not huge. Like, this isn't like a giant, like, 50-acre place.
I'm just imagining all of us fucking waiting around for Nemesis to get out of the bathroom.
I think that there would be more than one bathroom, but yes, he's right. It isn't like a giant place. I mean, come on, there's gonna be servants and 6 of us, and 7 of us, and it's gonna be a lot.
If I remember correctly, you like the land you have is on it's either an acre or 5 acres, something like that.
Okay.
We'll have to hunt through the old episodes to find it again.
I can find the screenshot. Oh, not the screenshot. The deed. Actually, I think I just found it. 2 acres of land.
Okay.
Yeah, it isn't overly huge, but yeah.
We could probably buy more land if we need it.
Yeah, because
So real decent.
yeah, so like, let's see, 2 acres is 8,000 square meters.
Okay. Okay.
Which I think is like a football field and a half, roughly.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I can visualize that.
Yeah, me too.
If we don't send Grace into the servant bathroom and bedrooms, does he just sleep in the tower?
I mean, if we're gonna get like a stable big enough for all of
Oh, wait, here we go.
Just imagine the size of the bales of
So
hay sleeping.
that picture of the warehouse is roughly 2 acres.
Wait a minute, didn't we ask for
Okay.
place to put our dead?
No, you thought of saying that, but when you actually got
Yeah, no.
when you actually got the deed and were discussing with Harloof on what you wanted in there, you never mentioned a cemetery.
Okay.
But yeah, to give an
It's
idea,
been so long. I can't remember.
yeah, but to give an idea of scale, like that picture of the warehouse, that is 2 acres roughly.
Okay. Well, not bad, yeah.
So as you see, it's sizable,
Yeah.
but not massive.
True.
And obviously, the manor's not taking up the full 2 acres.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving over to Fortune and Nemesis, you take the 10-minute walk to Summerdale. From this distance, you can already see the manor is mostly built. You can see there's still like work being done on the tower, and you can see a little bit to the side. You can see the stables where they're trying to, build more space up. There is a Lord's Guard presence as you arrive, but as you just but they appear to recognize you and let you through.
Mm-hmm.
So you can hear you've seen some places that have been on construction before, but at this point it's a lot quieter, probably because it's in the final stages of the of construction. At the very first thing that you notice is a small garden at the front entrance. Currently, nothing has been planted in there. But the walls are made of a smooth white stone with wooden timbers, like intermittently. There's beautifully like crafted glass, rather than being like flat panes. You can see that it sort of has a bit of what's the word? It's not like a stained glass effect, but like the glass is sort of structured in a way that it appears to... God, I'm trying to remember because I'm not good with my glasswork stuff. But it kind of looks like, from a certain angle, it might look like there's a bit of art on there, potentially.
Okay, cute.
Okay.
Yeah, like not to the point where it like ruins the view, but it's like you could like... You see on the right, there's a bit which sticks out, which looks to be like
Nori's brother.
a lounge.
Oh,
Didn't know Nori had a brother.
Yeah,
Sorry,
so
that was brain fart. Sorry.
Like you see most of the windows around like a lounge area where you can see there's a few dwarves like placing down a few chairs and sofas. You can see that there's some that are sort of like crafting engravings into a fireplace.
All right. Well, since this looks half done,
It looks mostly done. You'd say about 80% done.
that's what I meant. That was the first word that came to mind. It looks not finished.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, I will. Does anyone seem to look like they're in charge?
There appears to be a human who's sort of, you can see, sort of like sitting on a stone bench in the garden. He's kind of just speaking with another one of the dwarfs.
Mm-hmm. All right. I will go up to them then.
All right. So you kind of approach them. They both kind of look up at you. Yeah, can I help you?
Yes. I am one of the owners of this estate, and I was wondering about the progress of this, and also if anyone else had stopped by here.
Right, gotcha. Vergrog, just continue working where you were. Hey. And dwarf walks off. The human stands up and just sort of like stretches a bit. So, for the most part, you could live in there and be mostly fine if you don't mind a lack of plumbing. We've got it sorted in the kitchen. We're just working on getting it in the servants' bathroom and the main bathroom. Tower's been a bit of a fickle thing. We're not particularly skilled with towers, but give it about a week or two, it'll probably be done then. Real problem is there was a whole bunch of horses that came by, and a fella, which I guess answers your second question, said that his sister told him about this place and asked where to put the horses. See, when people get their houses built, like a manor built, and they have their stables, it's usually like 3 horses. This was 6, so we're working on extending that, but that can go on even long after this is done. But overall, it's livable. We've got like the kitchen is sorted, dining room sorted, stairs. We're just finishing the foyer right now. The bedrooms are sorted. The only thing is we got 3 rooms remaining that we haven't furnished, but at the same time, we've been told to keep them a bit open, just in case the owners, yourselves, have any other ideas.
Of course.
Yeah, we were gonna, because you're an adventuring lot, ain't you?
That's correct.
Yeah, so, we've had to build a few houses for adventurers before. Nothing this grand, mind you. But we've been, we tend to leave a few for upgrade, shall we say.
What about the head?
What do you mean the head?
Did you not receive the head?
It's a dragon's head.
The bloke
I think
did.
it was a cave dragon.
The bloke did tell me that was coming.
So it hasn't come yet.
No, he said he told me that it was whatchamacallit. He said he had to leave in a bit of a hurry, so he couldn't bring it, but it is on its way.
All right then, that's fine.
Well, I was not aware of a trophy. I take it you want us to put that up there as well if it arrives soon?
Yes.
Which
Where do you
room?
think we should put it? Looking over to Fortune.
Probably in our main entrance area. Maybe in the foyer? Hanging up over a fireplace?
I think the foyer would be a good spot, yes.
Sorry, it's just, the fireplace is directly opposite the main, thing, so anyone peeking in is gonna get one hell of a shock.
Oh, that's perfect.
Right.
God, Chothinar's gonna come walking down the stairs to get food in the middle of the night and he's just gonna shit himself. It's gonna be great.
But, yeah, it's... Given what the lad said, probably gonna arrive in a week, but now we know where it is, I'll let the lads know.
Thank you. I'd also like to ask if a woman stopped by, a reptilian one.
No?
All right.
Just,
She's probably
just the lad with the horses.
she's probably with Tyr then. All right. Where did he say that he was going?
Oh, so we're sending back
If
to
he
Exeter.
said.
I told him we don't have any space for the horses yet, so best to take him to Exeter. He said, alright, I'll stay there, maybe speak with the nobles or something.
Alright.
That a stable boy would, know them Rona folk.
Nemesis gives him this look of just detest. Did you call my brother a stable boy?
But he's your... I am so sorry. He was dressed in a way that made me think he was a stable boy.
My brother's manner of attire does not conclude his character, even if he does dress poorly.
I can only apologize.
This poor dude. Nemesis huffs a bit.
Oh, no, look at the balls left a bus.
She said, "See."
Thank you for your assistance.
Right, I gotta get back to work now. He very quickly leaves.
This poor guy.
One more thing. The garden's free for you to do what you see fit. We've been told not to plant anything in there because one of your lot was apparently into plants and such. Bye. He quickly runs back in.
Nemesis looks at Fortune. A stable boy, really?
You know what? Now that I think about it, Nemesis, do we have flowers or colors for the party? I mean, we could plant them in the party's colors. We could have it nicely arranged. We could get
As far as
banners.
I know, we don't have any specific colors. As
Well,
long
we
as
should
it's
be
not
fixing that
purple.
if we're going to be going into a war.
So just so you know, with the garden, as I say, a lot of the area is just soil and such. There's a plot right in the middle, which you would assume would be for a tree or something. There's 2 fountains either side, and the benches are sort of on the edge intermittently around what you assume would be flower beds.
Yeah.
Tom, how fancy or big are these fountains? Are they big enough to add a statue to?
No, they're about God damn it, in diameter. They're about 5 feet in diameter.
Okay. I was gonna say if they're big enough, we can have horses.
They're 5 feet in
on there.
diameter, and they're about 4 feet high. They're rather small fountains.
Okay.
You could add garden gnomes.
If that is
Garden Trofnars.
Jesus, if that's the case, I think Delson can decide what to do with the garden. He seems adept in herbs and the like. We should go back to Exeter and try to find Nori. Stable boy.
I love that's the thing she's annoyed at here.
Okay. So, you begin to make your way back to Exeter. As you approach the gates, you end up running into Delsin and Gratian after a little shopping trip.
Hello
Well,
there.
how did it go?
Well, we will have interviews for people for staff and for staffing guards in 3 days from now in the Raven's Call. So they apologize for the stables.
We have interviews 3 days from now.
Yes.
And how do you suppose that we pay for this?
Okay, I was on the spot, so I did not know what to do.
Well, we can't interview people without actually having the money to hire them.
Shit.
Have we even decided on what we're paying them?
No.
All right. You know, I know who has the answers because he always does. As long as I find Nori, it's okay.
Oh, Nori, he's at the castle.
At the castle.
Yeah.
As in Rona.
Yeah. At least I believe that's what the guy at Cottles told us. Because,
All right, then. We should find Trothnar and head there, then.
true.
Supposing he's not already drinking.
Yeah,
Well,
Trothnar, what do you do
uh,
after you got your little fancy writing kit?
Still imagining that that I guess not knowing that Nori was at the castle. I am currently on my way to Summerdale.
Which means you'd run into us.
Probably, yeah.
The
Speak
gang's
as the
all
devil.
here.
Yeah. Wait, what's going on? I thought we'd a meeting at our fucking fancy manor place, you know?
It's not finished yet. Nori's not there. Instead, we're heading to the castle.
He's got your brother's got a gig with the Ronas then, is he?
It seems like it, though I suppose it's more... There's more to it than that.
Aye.
Oh yeah, how is Neri?
Well, why don't you go and see? She isn't there yet, so I would assume that she's staying with Tyr.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna correct them.
Is the spy party splitting again, or...?
It seems like we're all going together to the
Yeah.
castle.
Okay, alright. I got confused because you were saying like, oh, let's see on there and stuff. Okay, so you make your way to the castle.
For fuck's sake.
Oh, that's...
I'm sorry, I just saw Brokon Nem. Just because someone has a good relationship with their siblings does not mean that it is inappropriate. Jesus.
Somebody has been looking at too many certain things.
Do I want to know what Brokon means?
You don't.
We already had this discussion.
I can glean from context what it means. Okay, I think.
Alright. So, you head to the castle. The guards do stop you, but as you have the seals from the Rona family, you are let through rather quickly. and you enter the castle. Do you ask anything, or?
Well, I'm assuming that we're greeted by someone.
Yeah, you are greeted by Mongery. He's like, "Oh, Miss Nemesis. So good to see you, and so good to see your friends as well. What brings you to our abode?"
It's good to see you again. I came here because I heard that my brother was staying here.
Yes. He had an interesting tale to tell us. I believe he is currently because at this point it's come to the evening. I believe he is dining with Lord and Lady Rhoda. Confusing noble names here.
Scare us like that, Mungery.
Should we wait then?
No. I'm sure it will be absolutely fine. Follow me, please, all of you.
All right, we're gonna go in.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you follow Mongery to the dining room, which you remember from the first time you arrived here. He sort of stops you all before he gets to the door. Allow me to introduce you all properly. Knocks on the door. Opens it. He doesn't close it fully, so you hear him say, "My lord and lady, we have visitors, relatives of Norium, and her compatriots."
The struggle.
The struggle of trying to not use her noble's former last name. And her allies, the god's headache. You hear a bit of mumbling. It's like, "Very well." He opens the door a bit wider to let you all in.
All right, gonna go in. Gonna see Nori.
All right, so you enter the room. It's definitely had some of the more fancy stuff removed from it. You assume because there's no fancy dinner coming, it's just a regular family
It's just
one.
dinner.
Yep. So you can see Roland, Tiana, and Celine just kind of all sitting together. They're not wearing anything. Well, they're not wearing a fancy formal dress and such. I mean, obviously their clothes as nobles is fancy, but casual fancy kind of deal. You can see nearby as well is Norium, who's he just kind of looks up and you can see he's got his face, his mouth is full of some food, so he just he just quickly tries to chomp it down. As this happens, Celine speaks up. "Oh, it's the god's headache. I am so glad to see you all safe." And she sort of stands up and quickly rushes over to give first to give you a big hug, Nemesis, and she goes around and gives everyone else a hug.
Nemesis seems surprised for a second because she was going to do the traditional noble greeting of curtsying, and then she goes and hugs her, and she's like,
And then she comes back to the front. "Oh, I never had the opportunity to thank you all for what you did with my sweet Sienna."
I'm glad to see that you're better.
It's it was a difficult recovery. Let us go with that.
And what about Tiana?
Oh,
Nemesis kind of looks over to her.
Tiana, my sweet, are you going to say hello to your friends? You see, she's Tiana, so timidly, sort of slides off her seat and walks over. You can see on her missing hand that there is a prosthetic ending with a wooden orb, very reminiscent of tears. And you just watch as she sort
Nemesis will kneel down to her level.
She sort of shrinks away a little bit, but she kind of, you get the feeling that she's still a bit this is more just she's still a nervous girl kind of deal.
Yeah.
But she sort of like recomposes herself and sort of like steps back forward again. And just looks directly into your eyes.
It's nice to see you again.
You too.
How are you feeling?
Better. Still not used to. And just sort of like lifts up her the arm with the missing hand. But tears did help me to begin with.
That's good. I hope that you continue to acclimate.
Nemesis, she's a child. Stop using fancy words.
It means to adjust.
I will.
Nemesis gives her a warm smile.
Miss Nemesis?
Yes.
She'll like put like is quiet for a few seconds before she sort of like walks forward a few more steps so that she's right in front of you and just sort of like gives you a hug, around your neck.
Nemesis very gently hugs her back.
After a few seconds, she sort of like goes the hug and takes a few steps back, looks up at Celine, and heads back to the table. At this point, Norium has finished eating the food and is quickly runs over. Oh, excuse me. That was most unfortunate. Sister, it's good to see that you're safe.
Yeah, Nemesis like adjusting her clothing as she stands back up. I could say the same for you. What?
What?
Nemesis and I nudge her in the side. It's your favorite stable boy.
That man was very rude.
But considering what my attire was at the time, he was very much correct.
Did he call you a stable boy to your face?
Yes, he did, and I figured it best to keep that ruse up. It's how I got out of Ulmendau anyway.
Him over. What clothes is he wearing now?
He appears to be wearing just a regular like nobleman's tunic.
Okay.
The original she says, "Oh yes, when he arrived, he was dressed in rather dirty, sort of like a dirty vest and trousers and such. Honestly, if it weren't for the fact of his mannerisms, you would confuse him for a stable boy. At the time, of course. I mean no disrespect saying it now."
I'm surprised that you weren't flaunting about in your robe.
Well, when the Paladins of Tyr are hunting you down, you need to find any way of espionage possible. I have a means to change my appearance, but my attire is a bit different.
They're hunting you.
They were hunting me.
Why were they hunting you?
Hazard a guess, mother and father were not very happy about me rescinding my title.
I apologize.
For what? I was on board with this plan to begin with. I knew the risks.
I suppose I was the one that started it in the first place.
To be fair, a few years down the line, I probably would have done the same anyway. You have no idea how freeing it is, not being bound to... Well, actually, I'm sure you do. You beat me to it.
I think it's the first time that I beat you in anything except a physical fight.
True.
Fucking nerd.
So I guess you can add that to your now slightly growing list of achievements you've beaten me on.
Have
No,
you
he
killed an
smirks.
adult dragon?
No, I have not. I haven't even fought a
You
dragon.
took it down on the dragon's back.
Really? Wow, you certainly had a few adventures, it seems. Celine, is it possible if I can speak to my sister? Don't be ridiculous. You don't need to ask such a thing of me, Norium. Are you joining us for dinner? There is still some food remaining.
I suppose that would be fine as long as my compatriots, looks at Trofnar, are polite.
Oh, by the way, so is it like a open table banquet thing?
No, all the food's like on the main table, kind of deal.
Okay.
As long as
essentially-
it isn't too much trouble.
Essentially, Trofna hasn't stopped looking at all the food.
It's the least I can do. I'm sure Roland. Roland. Roland just kind of like looks up. You do not have a problem with our friends eating with us, do you? Roland just kind of like, indicates like, sure, go ahead. He seems a lot happier. The last time you saw him, he was definitely like much angrier and at his wit's end. Now he seems much more calmer. Stress still weighs on him, it seems, but he seems to be in a better space right now.
Yeah.
Well, that explains it. Come. I'm curious to hear your tales as well.
Well, is Nemesis I'm Nemesis. Is Nori going to escort me to the side or something first? It seemed like he wanted to talk to me privately.
He doesn't seem to show any indication about it.
Okay. Then we'll eat first.
Okay. So you spend the next about half an hour, just talking with Norium and the Ronas, talking about your latest exploits since you last met them. There is a lot of surprise when Trofnar announces about how he is the now the leader of Clan Glowhammer. To which point Celine's like, "Oh, I do believe I remember hearing about the Glowhammers, but I thought they were completely what's the word? Not wiped out, disowned."
I suppose in a sense, I don't want to go into it now. It doesn't. It's not exactly dinner party talk, but yeah,
They're making a return.
Aye, we're trying to get back in the High King's good graces, Murray and willing. Aye.
Roland, at this point, he's been quiet for the most part, speaks up. Well, I assume you're also not here for any trade. We're kind of not able to do that at the moment. Oh, Roland, really? What? I still have to think of the benefit of extra.
Yeah, I mean, sure, the Glowhammers are... the Glowhammers are technically a great clan, but... I mean, our name and our opinion is still dog shite in most... as far as most Dwarven other clans are concerned, so...
Yes, but that's Dwarven. We are not Dwarven, we're Johanian.
I know, but you're talking about trade, weren't you?
Yes. Do you have any trade that you're willing to take from us, or to... Celine cuts off. Roland, not now! Fine,
Roland.
dear.
Roland, we can have it if you want. If you want to talk about this kind of stuff, we can have a chat later, alright?
Sure. So, looks towards you, Nemesis and Norium. Well, it's a good thing that you have renounced your title, because otherwise I would have had you thrown into the castle keep immediately. I hope you're aware of this.
I certainly wouldn't blame you.
No, you wouldn't. Natalia is, in all intents and purposes, a bitch. And she's decided to show her true colors.
Nemesis kind of gives him this look of like, as if we weren't already aware.
It's like the no shit Sherlock look, yeah.
Yeah, we've been saying this since we've heard about her mother in general.
I've been saying this since I was, what, 13?
If you have been saying this and you haven't yet met her, addressing, the others that aren't Nemesis and Norium, then oh boy. Even now, you are going to definitely realize that is an understatement.
Well, isn't that glorious?
Well, I'm grateful that, you don't have to throw me into a prison.
I'd be lying if I said that thought still didn't cross my mind as a potential bargaining chip, but let's see how the war goes first and foremost.
Whatever you want to do, I'm certainly game at this point.
You can see Celine is staring daggers at Roland right now.
Trothanol looks visibly nervous right now.
Can't take a joke still, I see. I wouldn't do that. You're an honorary Rona family member.
My heart.
That is the title that I gave you. And, well, considering that you are a member of the council, I imagine the council would not be very happy with my decision, and I'd rather not have insurrection within my own ranks.
Will the council be discussing Natalia soon?
The discussion's already been had. The decision's been made.
I suppose it has to do with the civil war that we were told about.
We've found our allegiances in the various families. We don't have any master strategists in our council, but the Lord God General, who Helena has declared her alliance with us, thankfully, has said that with the majority of troops situated south of Lesdor, and with Delcross currently on the verge of siege, it's rather even.
So we essentially need to tilt it in our favor.
If we can get Groffield on our side, that would allow us to make a push. At the very least, it would put pressure on Ulmandau and Johan, threatening to cut off their entire supply line.
And suppose we also
nods at this.
And suppose we were also somehow able to manage to convince Bulletros as well.
Well, if we're able to get the Ordim family on our side, we won't need to worry about utilizing a navy. Bulletros, however, would help protect our flank from a potential attack from Delcross. I doubt they'd be stupid enough to do it, but if the capital becomes at risk of falling, they might just do it.
Indeed.
We were going to travel and try to get allies soon.
That would probably be best. If it was any one of us, I imagine they would refuse.
You think that we'll do much better then?
You are plane hunters. An independent faction. Well, I hope that your true allegiances lie with us. On the surface, you would be shown as independent. Besides, word has begun spreading around of the God's Headache. Your deeds in Platinum Hold have now resonated throughout the kingdom, and various Simics have sung your praises. Not to mention, with the information of one of the members of the God's Headache being one of the great clans, that in itself should give you some additional heft, and as the dwarves are a neutral faction in this war, shall also aid you. That said, if we can get the dwarves on our side, that is a victory all but guaranteed.
Well, only problem getting the dwarves involved is what's stopping Natalia from the second that the High King falls in with a rebel, she doesn't just go in and burn gold chisel to the ground. That saves having a bloodshed as it is. I don't want.
Well, the dwarves seem quite confident in themselves, and I feel that that should be all the more encouragement to stop my mother. Considering what she did previously with the dwarves in Almondale, they already dislike her, and if we were to fail in this civil war, then they'd have to deal with the full brunt of her.
Two other things with Gold Chisel. They're very closely tied to Johan. If anything, I would not be surprised if the dwarfs there would be classified as an enemy. Second, is during the sacking of Gold Chisel, that was the full might of the Johanian army. Right now, that full might is fighting the Gilmesh Horde.
Essentially, the dwarves have basically nothing to lose and everything to gain from this.
Aye, and
They could get their original deal, and perhaps more, but we'll see.
I did hear of this original deal, but I was not in Johan when it was discussed.
They essentially want the grasp and the bridge, I believe.
I don't think the bridge. The bridge was a sign of friendship after the war. Main sticking point was Gara Zun, the grasp, hitting back in dwarven hands. If memory serves.
And that was all in exchange for them aiding us in the war?
God, I can't remember what it was now, actually. Genuinely.
I think for the most part, that was like their biggest thing.
Yeah,
That was the big thing. The other one was just that unless it's agreed with by a dwarven general, the dwarves would operate autonomously from the Johanian military. So a Johanian general couldn't order the dwarves to do something. They would only do it if the general says, yeah, listen to them.
Aye. And it was going to be... So the two conditions... Oh, that was it. Two conditions were Garazine back and operational autonomy for dwarven troops. So no Jirhanian general could tell a brigade of dwarves to go and throw themselves at the Gilmesh lines,
Natalia, you fucking idiot.
Aye.
I can say for a fact that I certainly would have voted for that deal. Garazun is destroyed, as you dwarves call it, so there's no real threat, and if this would strengthen our allegiance with the dwarves, then what would it matter if they had a fortress?
Well, instead, we are religious zealots and racists, so... Nemesis looks so, done with her mother.
Aye. I heard about what she did in Element Down. It's a fucking disgrace.
To be fair, there were unsavory people there, and she looks at Trothnar like dead in the eye. I don't agree with the rest of her destruction of the dwarf population there.
Fair. I'm not going to say we were all entirely peaceful there, but it wasn't an excuse to shaft out and destroy every single temple and home there. Thank you.
That's actually what she ordered us to do. Told us to destroy our cathedral to Brightspark, or rebrand it as a cathedral to Tyr.
I'm guessing in no uncertain time you told her to go get fucked.
Well, with respect, we have a cathedral to the Alliance for a reason. We respect all of the gods. But the Ronas have always been worshippers of Brightspark.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be damned if they tell me to worship something otherwise.
The more I hear about Natalia, the more I want to put a bullet through her head.
Imagine growing up with her.
Or having to deal with
Maybe
her at the meetings.
Maybe I should let them have the pleasure of doing that then.
Let me get a letter to my brother. He's currently acting as an advisor to the High King, and last time I was there, I made contact and hopefully, God willing, a friendship with the new Hanian ambassador. So those two in the High King's ear should be enough to get him on our side.
You're going to have a hard time getting a courier through the enemy lines.
Don't worry, I've got.
You'd be better off with a sending scroll.
Which is what I was planning to do. Aye.
You should see how the... Fuck, I keep forgetting what it's called. The Flameseeker Finery?
Flameseeker Refinery, yeah.
Refinery. You should see how the refinery is going. That could be part of your little transaction, and she gestures to
Oh,
God, Roland. So many names. Oh God.
Welcome to my world.
I'll check in on that too, but me and Roland can talk business in the morning. I'm just enjoying the meal in the company of friends, to be honest.
Well, let's get the whole issue of this war sorted before we talk about trade.
Aye.
If the dwarves partake in this war, well, where is this refinery?
In Underook, halfway across the world.
That is halfway across the world, and it is bordering Ulmundau.
Yeah.
I really don't think we'd be able to get any trade caravans through there.
But if we win the war...
It's just a
Yes,
thought
but
for
we're
the
in a
future.
war.
Not significant right now, alright?
No, it's not.
So you continue on with the rest of your tale, talking about your journey into Dra, and your encounter with the adult dragon. Ending with...
I just imagined Fortune going wild.
Non-stop talking about how amazing her girlfriend is, ignoring everybody else, only Nemesis.
Yep. As you finish, like, oh my goodness, I was impressed with just the one dragon, but you've taken down two of them.
To be honest, it wasn't all it was cracked up to be.
Oh, but dragons are very dangerous things, especially the old ones, the ancient ones.
We made friends with an ancient dragon.
I know, you told me. About going to this Feywild? Feywild, yeah.
Feywild, yeah.
Feywild.
Yes.
I've read about that, but never been there myself. Sounds incredibly dangerous.
Oh, more. Oh, that's an understatement.
I almost
The
got my.
perfect place for us to take a vacation to.
I mean, it was fun. I almost got my face ripped off by an evil, by an evil blood hag. But apart from that, it was alright. Yeah, nice little holiday.
He also fell in love with a fox.
You just see like Celine and Roland just like slowly look towards Truff now with that statement.
Okay,
Right.
we're not
Joking, of course, joking.
friend, alright?
She's more concerned about Tiana hearing that than anything.
Right. Huh. Well, Roland just like stands up. I have business to attend to. I need to see what the situation is with the other families. Good to see you all again. Don't be strangers. And he quickly.
It was nice to see you too.
He gives you a nod and quickly leaves. I think I will also go. I feel that you want to catch up with your brother, so come on, Tiana. Just lightly grabs her by her hand and just walks away. You see Tiana so wave as she's pulled away.
Just waves back. I love her.
Gave back
She's
to
so
little child.
precious.
And now it's just you all and Norium. Well,
I guess I'll let Nemesis talk with him first.
this has been an interesting few weeks, hasn't it?
It's like it never ends.
And now our own mother has decided to take over as queen. And here I was hoping that our plan would stop that.
I really hoped that it would.
Don't get me wrong.
Guess I should.
Mother was absolutely furious when she came back to Ulmendau. I fear the fault is mine on this one. If I had just simply rescinded my title right there... Because you know what she's like. When she loses one thing to make use of, she goes for something else. And unfortunately, she used the mining operation that we're doing an example of us helping the downtrodden in Ulmendau. My name was on that.
Isn't it amazing how no one looks at you for your entire life, and suddenly once they lose their bargaining chip, they turn to you?
Oh, they looked after me for part of my life. And then you were born.
Nemesis just looks more upset.
Oh, don't be sad. I accept that we don't have the best parents in the world. How do you know this Rogan fellow anyway? And how does he know Luez?
Nemesis goes to take a sip of her drink and immediately
The letter specifically said that Luez and Natalia had gone crazy. It doesn't surprise me that he knows Natalia, since she's the face of the Fallow family, but Luez? You mentioned he was a god of some sort, and I know Father was also a god. Were they war buddies or something?
You, Nemesi's just thinking about it. Like, obviously Rogan said not to tell Nori that he was his dad, but he didn't say
Hey, Nori.
anything about telling Nori that they were brothers. Well, you see, Nem looks so nervous. We met him at the Grasp previously, and how he knows our father. They are brothers.
My father never mentioned that he had a brother. I knew that he had a sister, but never mentioned a brother.
Yes, you know Mother, she cuts people off from people that would help them.
Of course, of course.
Lovely woman she is. But yes, that is how they know each other. Of course, I was unaware of this when I met him.
Well, at least he did what a father should do and look after their relatives, considering he's our uncle.
Nemesi just gulps down the wine. Mm-hmm.
Is he alright, though? The letter had quite a bit of blood on it.
What?
Yes, the letter he gave me, there was clearly markings of blood on it.
I wouldn't know why that would be.
You do remember that when you saw him, he did have his arm in a sling?
Yeah. Nemesi doesn't know what to tell him. He did seem injured, but he seems to be recovering.
That's good. That's good. I imagine being a soldier, especially if you find him on the grass, he probably would have been a bit messed up anyway.
Yes.
I saw Summerdale, by the way. Beautiful building.
Well, I'm glad that you like it, considering you're going to spend a lot of time there.
Clearly, although Roland has said that I am free to stay here in the castle as long as I wish.
Well, I was hoping that maybe you could help manage the manor. I was never good at those kinds of things.
Right, like the guards and the servants and all that, yes?
That is correct. Especially considering someone, and looks to Delson, said that we apparently have interviews in 3 days.
Interesting. Rather quick.
That's
And
what I thought.
I assume you want me to attend these with you?
Please, I have no idea what I should even be paying them.
Oh, well, normally, in this case, we would either offer them amount or ask them to basically say how much they would be willing to spend. Oftentimes you get those that ask for exuberant amounts of cash. However, some of them are relatively quaint, and you could potentially find yourself with a bit of a deal on your hands.
I certainly hope so. I don't even know how we're going to pay for this. I'm hoping that we could start up some sort of business 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 involving Trothnar's refinery.
Do you have any capital at the moment?
I will get.
I'm
back
just thinking about it right now.
I will get back to you on the whole capital thing. Don't worry. It's all being worked out. Don't worry.
I was able to get some gold out of Ulmandau, so if need be, I can help us keep afloat, though depending on how much it is, we might actually have a decent amount to keep it running for probably a year or two.
That would be good, especially considering that I don't think anything's going to particularly take off until this whole war business is done.
Well, given the size of Summerdale, it's not like we need as big a contingency of guard as we needed to in Ulmandau. I would say we would need 6 to 8 guards to cover both day and night shifts, and staff we could probably... I mean, we could make do with 1, but it won't be as immaculate as it is in Ulmandau.
I don't need extravagance, I just need the place put together.
Then we shall see what we have then. With the capital I've got, if we have a budget of about 100 gold a month, and that is for all the staff, then my gold alone should be able to keep everyone fully staffed and the storerooms fully stocked for about 10 months.
That could work. We can earn some more money in the meanwhile and get our business in place.
We should
Indeed.
also have that shipment of flavor bombs coming in soon.
That is true.
Yes, with the dragon head, it was just finishing up being placed on what would be its mount, but I have instructed it to be sent to Exeter. Hopefully, with just being a dragon head, it won't be confiscated as potential contraband to aid the rebels, as they would call it.
A taxidermy dragon head
That's why
would
I'm
be
hoping...
contraband.
Contraband is anything. Contraband is what you are transporting.
Well, I mean to aid rebels specifically.
That's why I said, hopefully, if it's just a simple order, hopefully they don't take it.
All right. How are you doing, though?
Well, I have thrown away my family name. My mother has assassinated the High Queen, instilled herself as Queen of Jurhan, is cracking down on non-human races and those that don't follow Tyr. I've heard about the Plain Hunters guild hall in Jurhan literally being dismantled. Overall, I'm surprised that I'm not a nervous wreck by now.
I realize this isn't a great situation. Probably shouldn't have asked stupid questions.
Could be worse. The Gilgamesh Horde could be knocking on our doors right now.
With Mother's incompetence, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case soon.
Tối thứ bảy còn chơi 9 giờ.
Ed, you... Not Ed. No, your mic's on.
Right.
But I wish I could speak Vietnamese, thank you.
Let's see.
Oh shit, sorry.
He's fine.
It's alright.
Yes, okay.
Potentially, but we have time. I hardly doubt Delcross is simply going to lounge about.
I was hoping that there might be some way to convince them that this isn't a good idea. But let's face it, they are probably as stone-headed as Mother is.
I've conversed with the Sin family a few times in the past. They're not terrible people, but I imagine Mother fed them something about giving them more power in the military. You know that she's not going to do that.
Do I know that she's full of shit? Yes.
Exactly. And once they found out, it would not surprise me if the Zin family does, in fact, rebel. However, with a civil war and a war with the Gilgamesh Horde currently going on, it seems very unlikely that they will make any effort to realize the bullshit.
Desperate times, I suppose.
So I assume your intention is to stay here for a few days and get these interviews over and done with, then?
Yes, after that we will be, I suppose, heading off to Grothfield.
If that's the case, do you have the means to get over the Soul River?
I believe you do.
We
We
have a
have
boat.
Good. Because you're not going to get over the main bridge.
Yes, I suppose it would be a bad idea that would
Aye.
get these lot executed and me shipped off to Jurhan.
And then executed.
You really think that Mother would kill me?
She was willing to kill me. I know I'm the least favorite sibling, but if she's willing to kill one of her own, and the other one, her favorite, still rebels against her, she's got what she wanted. She's Queen of Johan.
By then, what's the point?
Exactly. Unless she decides that she wants to use you to birth more angelic babies, but I don't think you're very keen on that idea.
I don't even think that she'd get what she wanted after the information that I got.
Wait, what do you
Honestly,
mean?
this would probably... I found out the circumstances of why I am the way I am.
Is that so?
It isn't biological. It's whatever asshole God intended me to be this way. It's just that. It's just a blessing of sorts. One that I didn't ask for, but nonetheless, nothing biological would even occur. I couldn't make more.
That would certainly break her heart. What little she has of it.
I mean, at least it would be if I found myself in a desperate situation, she doesn't know that fact.
No. But I wouldn't let you do it anyway. Still, at least you found an answer to a question you've had for many years.
I think I'm more angry by the result than anything. All I can think is about what a fucking joke it all is.
The way I see it, and by all means disagree with me with this one, sister, is that you were remarkable enough to be blessed. Regardless of if you wanted it or not, the fact of the matter is this. They saw something in you that I also did. That you're far, far stronger than you make yourself out to be.
The difference between you and whatever deity did this is that you actually care for me. Whoever did this is just trying to get something out of it.
So let them get something out of it. At the end of the day, you are still you. Blessing or no.
I suppose I'm more just bitter that I found a way out of a situation where someone wanted something from me and I found myself in another.
There's a very big difference in those two situations, sister. The one you got out of was going to lead to your ruin regardless. This one? Do you know if once this deity gets what they want, that they will simply then just leave you be?
Unfortunately, I don't know. They said that, or well, my guide said that they don't know either. If I fulfill my task, it could be that I live life as myself, or I could be stripped of this.
Stripped of the blessing?
That's correct.
So, where does the problem lie there?
I don't think it's very fair to give me these abilities, give me this identity, and then, once I'm not of use, take it away, when it's all I've ever known. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing with being normal, but this is... You say that I am me, but the fact of the matter is that this is a facet of myself.
And how many people have addressed your blessing? I know you mentioned the Simics in Ulmendau, but beyond Mother and Father and those, who has really taken any particular note to your blessing? I'm sure if you were to count it up, more didn't care about your blessing than those that did.
That's not what I'm saying. I don't care if other people care. I'm saying that I care. I stopped bragging about a blessing a long time ago. It isn't... I admit that it doesn't fully make up what I am. But, again, it's still part of me. It's still important to me. It would be like you suddenly turning into, I don't know, a hobgoblin or an elf. It would be strange and unusual.
And I would make do with what I become. To be honest, I like the idea of becoming an elf. A long life would mean more books.
You're certainly as humble as one.
All I'm saying is this. Yes, the blessing is part of who you are, but it's not entirely of who you are. The blessing didn't give you the brains, the body, or anything. It just gave you, what, some fancy wings, some weird hair, and some weird eyes. A majority of what you are is not because of your blessing. A majority of what you are is because you're Nemesis. And even if you wake up tomorrow without that blessing, you would still be Nemesis. Just without the blessing from a deity. And I think, given what you've told me in the Ronas, you've achieved far more just as Nemesis than Nemesis' blessing.
I suppose so.
And for what it's worth, if you were to not have that blessing, I would still love you all the same as my sister.
At that, Nemesis kind of just gives him an indescribable look. It's clear that she has more to say about that particular anecdote, but she doesn't. Even if I wake up with a different face?
You're still my sister. And I would go to the depths of the 9 hells to bring you back if you were a demon.
Fucking fortunate! She's right there!
A natural demon, not a tiefling like your girlfriend here.
Mm-hmm.
Nemesis blushes. I certainly wouldn't mind being one of her kin. I just mean she's gorgeous all the same, so...
Regardless on how you look, so long as you still act like Nemesis, it makes no difference to me whether you're blessed or if you're even turned into a slime or something. So long as I
that
still,
would be something.
so long as there's still a trace of Nemesis in there, I don't care what happens. And if anyone disagrees with that assumption, let's just say I'm not kidding when I say that not even the 9 hells would protect them. You can see like his face, his tone and his face and such, it's 100% serious.
I suppose. Even if I do change, one thing will always stay constant, and that's you.
that's for the best, probably. Well, it's been quite a interesting conversation. I suppose I best think of what to ask the hopeful interviewees in a few days.
Thank you again for your repeated assistance.
Well, since receiving my title, I've found that I've got a lot more free time recently.
It's fun, right?
It is. It's something I haven't felt in a while. I like it.
Hopefully you don't miss your library too much.
The Renaults have a library here. It's not as impressive as mine, but keeps me occupied.
At least here, none of the books are damaged by a certain dwarf.
No, instead they've been, well, some books have been damaged to the equivalent level, though upon querying it was due to a 5-year-old girl.
She is a precious baby. You do not talk of her.
No, I'm just simply saying that it's
Seems like
expected of a child.
Much better. Yes. Honestly, I'm surprised of how much I appreciate Tiana's presence. As you know, I was never a fan of the idea of children.
No, you are not. The jury's still out for me on that one as well.
Nemesis gives him like this surprised look, like, are you actually thinking about it? Who the hell would you even be with? You fucking hermit.
I'm gonna make him roll. I'm gonna make him roll an insight to see if he.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, she's being pretty obvious about it.
Oh yeah. That's why it had a low DC.
The only sort of girlfriend I think that Norim could get would be inflatable.
Yeah. So he knows. He says, "What? I can dream."
With who?
I don't know. Maybe after this war's over and without the burdens of my title, maybe I'll get lucky. After all, I may have to start going to some libraries and, oh gods. How am I going to react to that?
I predict that it's not even going to be humanoid. I bet it's going to be maybe a lizard folk or a centaur.
Is Raya there?
Nope. Maybe. It'd be interesting. You can see.
Easy
Roll an
now.
insight check.
It'd be your partner.
Roll an
not
insight
an
check.
experiment. All right. Ooh, whoops! That's Nori's sheet. Ah, sorry.
Well, we'll use the roll. What's Nemesis' insight? Goodness.
Nemesis insight, I believe, is +1 instead.
So 19. He's generally thinking about it.
Just remember that it would be your partner, not something to study.
I know. You can see like his face is starting to go a bit red. Though I do need to.
Yeah, how's it feel to be on the other side?
Well, I have some reading to do, so I will see you all whenever. The interviews, yes, the interviews. Bye, love you lots. And quickly, like...
Okay, Nemesis shouts after him, "Coward!"
He doesn't turn back, he just leaves.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with non-humanoid.
Of course not. I just know that Nori has unusual taste.
I mean, it's not that unusual, I think.
I think that a non-humanoid would break him. Have you seen his arms?
I mean, fair enough. Yeah, great. Great makes a good point.
Oh god, why is Tom covered?
Yeah, nothing. I just thought I heard something. That's all.
Jesus. Monster fucker, Nori is a monster fucker.
Okay,
Okay,
Jesus.
I shall be back.
so is there anything in
I
particular
could
that?
confirm that if you wanted me to.
That would be entirely up to you.
Fucking. Nori's a switch.
Okay.
All right. So,
I
is
guess-
there anything that you wish to do for the evening, or I guess the next couple of days?
Well, I know that we're interviewing people.
I need to send a scroll. I need to send a sending scroll to my brother Holmvik.
Okay. What do you tell him?
I don't know. Let me type it out.
Maybe we should go see if Kimbany has any new magic items.
Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah.
You know, with the sending stuff, at one point I might just start pressuring you guys, like, nope, you gotta decide now. No spending 5 minutes deciding what to say. Anyway. Okay. So, yeah, so what are you guys gonna do for the next couple of days? Before the interviews?
We should restock on rations, check out Kimbany's shop, and maybe go see Gus, see if he's got any, like, upgrades.
So you're just leaving Neri be then, yeah?
Well, I doubt that much has changed with her. We should probably go check in with the Plane Hunters Guild in the first place. So I figure that we can do that.
Her bone.
You going to what?
I want to give Neri her bone,
Yeah.
the dragon bone that we brought as a snack.
So I gotta say, it's like, you guys have been talking about Neri a lot, but now all of a sudden you're just ditching her?
No. I figured that we were going to the Plane Hunters Guild anyways.
So you need to say, otherwise...
I'm sorry.
It's
I'm just
fine.
trying to think of all the stuff that we're doing.
Okay.
I'm back.
Did you have anything that you wanted to do within the next few days?
I want to go check our Warforged friend out and see what he has in stock.
I
Gus.
just mentioned that. Yep.
Okay,
Gonna
I've
go
got my
see
I've got my
Gus.
sending scroll if you want it.
Okay. I'm ready.
Alright, brother, Jerhan Queen deposed, replaced with xenophobic bitch. Coalition led by ex-Rona want to overthrow. Make contact with Lele and advise Roster to intervene.
Okay. There's a bit of a pause before you hear Holvik say, "Oh, shit. So that's why we got a refusal for the deal. Right. I'll let the High King know. Oh, also, we ended up getting the..." And it runs out.
Yay! Here comes
We
the
can
money.
infer what he said.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Here comes money. Here we go. Money talks.
Okay.
Hold on. Oh, okay. Mage contact. Okay, everyone else can do their thing. I'm just trying to.
Okay, so while that's going on, okay, so you guys, so getting your rations replenished shouldn't be too much of an issue. Roughly how many rations are you planning to get?
How long is the journey to Grothfield?
It is. Let me bring up the map. Because, like, wow, I need to find the map. Christopher Walken.
Boys, Willow from hiking and
I can't find me Jurhan map in me stuff.
Tom,
makes a good
it's in the Discord. It's pinned in general.
Well, no, I mean I had it open on my webpage, on my Firefox. That's what I mean. I was looking on Firefox for it.
Don't say Fox, please.
So it'll take you about 2 weeks.
2 weeks. All right. Then can I get 2 weeks worth of rations?
Yep, so that's 5 silver each. So that is 5 times 14 is 50. 70 silver or 7 gold.
All right. Yep. All right. I'll pay the 7 gold, which makes my gold uneven. Oh, actually, that's a really nice number. That's 909.
Hey.
That is acceptable.
Is that your next heart droid number now? 909.
Oh. Well, I already have 911.
420. What you smoking?
Okay. So the next one was to visit Gus. So Gus at Smithery 4938. So as you get in there, into the Smithery, there is actually another Warforged now alongside Gus, as they're both currently hammering away at various bits of metal. No, I think I heard just the door downstairs. So you can see that they're both still currently working. What do you guys do?
Is it female?
Oh, you can't see because only the back's to you.
Okay.
Is there a bell I can ring annoyingly?
No.
Oh.
Fortune, if you want to get their attention, you can just do this. Feels bad.
Gus just kind of like stops and turns around. Oh, 1 second. Just finish it. Just like hammers for about a few minutes before placing it in the water back into the forge. He places the hammer down, so like turns around. It's like, greetings, units. Welcome to Smithery 4938. My name is Gus. How can I help you?
It's nice
Does
to
he
see
not
you again,
remember
Gus.
you guys?
You're returning customer. It has been quite a while. And, you know, when you deal with so many units, you struggle to remember things, even as a Warforged.
It has been some time. I see that you have perhaps a new employee.
Yes, he was created about 2 months ago. Currently, that unit has not achieved sentience yet, but one can hope.
I wish you luck, then.
Anyway, how can I assist you, units? I'm quite busy making weapons for the war effort, so you will have to be quite brief.
I was wondering, is there any way to upgrade my armor? I realize that I believe it's called scale mail is the highest one.
I think you've got plate mail now.
I'm trying to find my plate mail. Yep, yeah. Plate mail. There it is.
The upgrading of plate mail is partially arcane, partially metallic, and it can be done, but plate mail, that will take many a time and much of coin.
How much coin do you suppose, and how much time?
About a month or two of work, and so like looks your arm up and down. 3,000 at a minimum. Plate mail is very complicated armor, so much time and care must be made to upgrade said armor.
I see. Unfortunately, I couldn't go bare for that amount of time.
Then, unfortunately, I cannot assist you.
Alright. What about, say, a warhammer? Would that be able to be upgraded in a shorter amount of time?
Depends on how short you're referring to.
At most, we could stay perhaps 2 weeks.
2 weeks. How... Can I see the craftsmanship of this hammer?
Nemesis goes ahead and takes out the hammer.
Alright. So he, like, takes the hammer, he, like, observes it. Slightly interesting make on this one. However... I will have to consult with the wizard that currently resides in Company's tower to see if it's upgraded. The craftsmanship of this hammer is very well made, I must say. I'm sure I can reinforce the handle and such, but the majority of it will be done by the wizards. I would say a week. I could probably get this done in a week. It will cost about 500 gold, though, in order to get it done that quickly.
And specifically, what upgrades would be made to it?
Well, it's mostly the enchanting of the metal, and the reinforcement of the heft of the axe and such.
Nemesis gives a nod. I believe I have a second weapon in my bag, so I think that's fine, yes. And she will take out the money.
Alright, he takes the 500 gold from you. Good. Very good.
Actually, I have one more additional request.
And that is...
There's an engraving on that hammer, a symbol of sorts. I simply want it gone.
Certainly. It'll look a bit weird, but I can probably put a steel plate over it. The metal of this hammer is... It's iron, yes, iron and steel, but a different make from my normal style. I can make it look aesthetically pleasing, though. It's just that it will have a plate on it. I'll probably flip it over to the other side. I'll probably place one on the other side as well to make sure it matches.
That's fine, then. How much extra would that be?
Well, plates a dime a dozen. I would say 3 gold. No,
Alright.
4 gold.
Okay, so that's 504 gold?
Yeah.
$405. Okay. Yep, I'll give him the money. Damn, Gus, you just made it 1 gold extra. Like, it would have been 404. It would have been 404.
I mean, you can give a 1 gold tip if you're that desperate.
Yes, there you go. Have extra gold.
Oh, thank you.
It's 404.
Warhammer not found, as Gratian said.
He works primarily with Damascus, not spring steel.
No, I just work with regular steel. I've never heard of this Damascus steel. Sounds interesting, though. I wonder what the recipe for that would be. It'd be a shame if we never found out what it was.
Jesus.
History knowing stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Anyone else have any upgrades that they want, or is it just me?
I was gonna ask.
I was actually going to see if he had any more Nazen boards by any chance, or if he could upgrade a Nazen firearm.
I have no idea how to upgrade those Nazian firearm units. And I haven't gotten any either, unfortunately.
Fair enough.
Just remember, Gus's Forge. Is it? It's. He doesn't sell like weapon. Does he sell weaponry?
He does, but you can see the walls are rather bare.
Okay. Is there any chance-
Wasn't he banned from the shop?
He was temporarily banned from the shop. But don't forget, Gus has
Okay.
forgotten you guys.
I was gonna say.
One, he was temporarily banned. Two, he doesn't remember you guys. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yes, man.
In that case, do you have any gunpowder in stock by any chance?
No, because I haven't been given any Nazian firearm units, and I wouldn't have the faintest idea how to work them. I work in metal, not powder.
Fair enough. Thank you anyways.
Even though the walls look quite bare, is there like a crossbow or something on the walls?
Nope.
Okay.
You see a short sword and a rapier, and that's it.
I'm cool.
I imagine the rapier is just our average run-of-the-mill one, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Well,
You don't know.
yeah, Delton's gonna walk off.
Fair enough. Thank you for your patronage. I will hold on to the Warhammer until you come to retrieve it.
And you said a week.
A week.
All right then. Thank you.
He goes straight back to his forge and continues just ting, ting, ting. As I said, with that whole thing, yes, I feel cold out, but I do need to work on my sound effects.
Luckily, I have the Morning Star from the very beginning.
You have a morning star?
Hey,
Yeah, we got it from a bugbear.
Oh yeah, that morning star. Oh.
We also
Remember
took-
when we had to throw something into the fire because it rotted so badly?
Yeah, we did,
I can't believe we also
Oh,
took
yeah.
his dingle dingle.
Yep.
Also,
A Morning Star
Yeah.
is an actual weapon. No,
Yeah.
it's a form of mace.
yeah. It's actually existing in history is a bit dubious, but yeah, it is a weapon.
Yep. Okay. So where to next on your journey?
Kimberly?
We're gonna go see Kimbany.
Do you want to
Okay.
get a Strepsil or something,
Yeah.
Tom?
Huh?
Do you need to get a Strepsil or like a throat lozenge or anything? Are you gonna be alright?
I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
Just looking at you, man.
Alright, so you head to Kindle Clank, which is the official name of Kimbany's store.
Oh, no.
You head up to the top. No Kimbany! But Karmora is there.
Ah,
Does he take one look at Fortune and just go, oh no?
Like he
Shit.
like he looks, he just kind of looks over. You just gonna go.
accurate.
Hi.
You can see at this point, the bowl cut is back.
No!
Like it's not fully there
Yeah.
yet because he's obviously been growing it out over the months. But it
Fucking
is,
coconut head.
but it is starting there. It's starting to grow, to like show up there.
God, if he just got a real haircut, he might find a mate.
Do you want me to try to make a distraction while you give him a haircut?
No.
Although I could grab Valis' chains and bind him up with those.
No.
Right. Welcome to Kindle Clank.
It's
Where's
nice to
our
see you
favorite
again.
grandpa?
Mostly nice to see you all. Looks of fortune. Mostly.
Hey, guess what? I can do fucking magic now.
Really?
Oh God.
This was not
Yeah.
an idea, so I'm just gonna say that right now.
She turned them gay.
You can do magic.
I can do magic.
She actually can, yes.
The gods are cruel and fickle, my friend.
Right, what do you want?
Guys, what did we come here for?
Let's have a look
We were
around,
looking
catch
for
your
different magical items, maybe upgrades.
breath. Indeed.
Mhm.
Gonna be honest with you. We don't have a whole lot in stock. Got a few scrolls. I've, got me a mask of many faces. Places,
What's that do?
Oh, it,
Yep,
watch. He takes the mask, puts it on. And then you can kind of watch his form shivers, and standing in front of you is a much taller, much buffer looking Fortune. Just kind of looks
Holy
directly
fuck,
at
how
you.
much does that cost?
Oh, this? It is. Let me get mine.
See, Nem seemed relatively uninterested because she already knows what that does due to her brother. But then she sees the buff Fortune and she's just like, oh. Oh.
I'm just quickly getting the cost of it because I need to remember.
You know, I was more thinking, hey, if we have to hide Nemesis, this will be really useful. Not, oh.
Nemesis just like,
he's,
buff Fortune. Buff Fortune.
Oh my god!
I don't
All
think
that
it
she
would-
wanted and more.
I don't think it would make Fortune buff, would it? Just because it was.
It just makes her look buff.
No,
Yeah.
but
I'm still looking at this
But-
because I need to remember what.
I inferred that it was like would have the same body type of whoever worn it, but but looking like the other person.
It basically. I mean, the Mask of Many Faces is based off a warlock's like pact thing. It's essentially the disguise self spell.
Yeah. Which means that you can make yourself look like anyone as long as they're like within a certain height
You can
range.
see 1 foot shorter or taller. You can be thin, fat, or in between. You can't change your body type.
You can be a dwarf.
You watch as he pulls off the mask. His form just like snaps back to his half-orc self. 700 gold for it.
Nemesis looks at them. Don't look at me for this one. I paid my share.
Yeah, but we could use it for you.
I'm saying that I personally don't have the money for it.
I know. Hey,
Hmm?
give it to us for 500 gold, and I make the promise you will never have me set foot in this damn shop ever again, as long as I am still alive.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh my
With
god.
advantage for past attacks?
No, just a general one.
The fact that it could even work in general is hilarious.
Well, I never said
Yeah.
anything about how high the DC was. 650, and you never step foot in here again.
Nah, not even worth entertaining at that price.
Then 700 gold.
Really
Fuck it.
fortunate isn't necessary.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, but we could sneak you through places that you normally can't go through.
You hear Gratian speak up. Oh. Quiet one, huh? You got the gold? Alright, you hand him a sack of 700 gold and he just tosses the mask of many faces.
My god, I forgot Gratian doesn't spend any money. He's fucking loaded.
That's true.
Yep. Now I
Yeah.
need to remember if there's a limit, because it is literally... Okay, no. Yep, so long as you wear that mask, you can use a disguise self-spell. Right, that's the only major item we've got. That's magical. I say we still got some scrolls.
Have you got any skulls to send in there?
I got one.
Well, it's better than none. How much for it?
I'll say 100 gold for this one.
Alright, you got a deal there.
Beyond that, I've still got 2 scrolls of Mage Hand. I've got a Find Steed scroll, 2 Resistance scrolls.
Does anyone want a steed?
I need to see if Nori bought my Fine Steed scrolls.
Oh, that's correct. You told him to buy a bunch.
I gave him like 600 gold. I want my horse back.
Jesus, you did. Please tell me that you did not spend that much money on Fine Steed scrolls.
I don't have that spell. This is my only way to keep my horse coming back. It's a price I'm willing to pay.
I mean, you can.
Wouldn't you pay that if you couldn't bring back your special horse?
Speaking of which, I'll need to do that soon. What does the resistance scrolls do?
No, it casts the resistance spell. I need to look it up because there's way too many fucking spells in D&D. And then you go into homebrew territory and there's even more.
Too much.
Why is everyone
So
making
for
fun
up
of
to a
14?
minute, you basically get to when you get attacked by a spell, this sort of fortifies your mental strength, makes it so that you might be able to eke out a little bit more. It lets you add a d4 to the spell if you do a saving throw, but it's only for one. It's only for one spell.
I don't think I personally have any need for that. By the way, I meant to speak to Kimbany about the orb. I'm not sure if he informed you.
Hey, he told me about it. He's in Almondale at the moment, doing some mining excavation of some sort.
That is correct. Has he not updated you on the situation there, if there's any new information?
He keeps me in the dark about it.
Alright then.
I just asked him when he's coming back. He told me in his roundabout way to look after the shop until he's back.
Alright, if that's the case then, I personally am done. What about the rest of you?
Can I ask about enchanting a weapon?
We can do that, aye.
Oh, good. I would like my rapier to be enchanted, actually.
So, like, looks at... it's your adamantite one, ain't it?
Yeah.
Oh, no. No can do with that one. Adamantite. Not very, conductive to magical energies. I can do it to a regular rapier, but Adamantite itself is pretty finicky.
Should have bought that raid.
Fair enough. Yeah, and I do not want to know what would happen if enchanting failed on a musket, specifically to you.
Oh,
The barrel just goes all floppy and flaccid.
Well, the thing is, I haven't worked with a musket, but I kind of... It's not the musket itself that you enchant, it's the ammo.
Is that so?
Yeah, it's behaves similar to a bow.
That would make sense.
Like, you can enchant a bow to do certain things, but it always involves the ammo. But, like, you can't make a bow of dragon slaying, for example. You can only make the arrows of dragon slaying. Same thing with a musket. It's really difficult to explain. It goes a lot into magical theory. But long story short, the less metallic it is, unless it's of a certain metal, the less susceptible it is to magic.
That is fair enough. So in theory, would it be able to enchant musket to change an ammo shot from it temporarily into a spell?
A musket. Nah, not a musket. The change of the element, the wood wouldn't stand a chance. Like, you make it so it can fire, the wood's gonna burn up completely alone, for example. No, you'd need to get one custom built. Made predominantly of metal.
I understand then. It's at least something good to know. I'm just going to look at the weapons I have with slight disappointment.
No.
Sorry, lad, but adamantite itself is already partially magical. I mean, I probably could enchant it, but it would kill the little... Is it solid adamantite, or is it reinforced?
I believe it's solid.
Yeah, if it was reinforced, then all that would happen there is the adamantite would probably break. But if it's the blade itself, you're out of luck.
I understand, though. Thank you for at least taking a look at it.
No problem.
And
If you ever find a basic rapier that you want me to enchant with it, by all means, come on back.
of course, I give him a bit of a nod.
Right.
Just
Anything
step
else?
Are you guys done?
Just about.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So, next on your little journey of days?
So we visited Kimbini. We're going to Pigeon Palace.
Nice to see that name still stuck after all these years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's always Palace.
So you enter into the Plain Hunters Guild. Seems rather empty, but Young is there. He's just currently You can see the front counter is covered in just parchments and various inkwells and such. And he's sort of he's writing down. He looks up, says,
God's headache. It's been a while since I've seen you lot around here.
It's a miracle we're alive.
Especially with the developments going on.
Yes. We've heard.
Have you heard about the Beacon Network?
Beacon.
Signal Beacon.
one second. I have food.
Yay.
Yay.
What variety of food?
Chicken fried rice and salt and pepper chips.
Nice.
Anyway.
Do you... sorry. Do you mean the orbs?
Mm-hmm.
What about them?
Pull the main one out.
I'll go ahead and take mine out.
So the signal orbs, usually have a dull glow to them.
Mm-hmm.
There is no glow.
Oh shit.
Just
What happened?
Jahanians, a guard there. They, tried to get into the Plane Hunters Guild. Zara had to disable the signaling system.
I see. Which means that we are partially cut off.
Situation's a mess currently. We're dealing with the Horde already, but the Fallows have tried to disband us. So we're trying to get as many people into allied territory as we can. From what I've heard, Nina down in Delcross has been taken in by the Academy. Technically, Kingdom ran, but Archmaid Lizzo, she ain't a fan of the Fallows or the Sin. Sarah, who I'm worried about, though.
Sarah.
Aye. She was based in Jahan. If Gratimer's the lead muscle the Plane Hunters, she's the brains. She's kept this thing running for decades. Them signal beacons, that's her work.
I mean, it's not like Natalia could actively harm them. It's not like you've done anything illegal.
Well, they'll find a reason. They'll probably use her history as a plane jumper as something to... Shit.
A plane jumper.
Aye. Thoughts just occurred to me, though. Zara's been out of the plane jumping game for a while, but she's more than capable of doing it still. I've been trying to gain contact with her, but my spells don't make it through, so... It's either she's hopped planes, she's arrested and put in an anti-magic field, or she's dead. Frankly, I prefer the first or last option.
Is there any particular place that she would have taken sanctuary?
I don't know. She wasn't shy about her plane jumper history, but when you're dealing with the planes, what place is safe?
That's right.
All we can do is hope that she reappears. She's a strong lass, though. She wouldn't be the second in command to Gratimer if she weren't.
What are the plane hunters doing in the meantime, then?
Well, we've been tasked by the Roners to deal with the killings going on. Not normally our forte, but you know, you gotta pay the bills somehow.
I heard that they were recruiting you for that, yes.
Tyr was already involved, but he's gone dark.
What do you mean?
I mean, he gets my sending spells, but don't reply to them.
Well, if he gets them, that means that he's at the very least all right, right?
Aye, he was pretty messed up though when he, after the little thing.
I'm aware. I remember.
Last I heard from him, he's found a way in to this cult. Gets a feeling that they're related.
That's what we were thinking. But you think that perhaps he got in and now he's not responding?
Well, keep in mind, the sending spell requires you to vocally respond. If he's actually in there, then either he's indoctrinated, hopefully not, or he just doesn't want to blow his cover.
That makes sense. Do you
Indeed.
know his location?
No.
Where do you know where the last time he made contact was? Or did he just disappear?
Nope. He hasn't came back to Exeter properly since that incident. Worst comes to worst, though. We have a few secret weapons that can... Well, not secret weapons. But we've got our strongest plane hunters on standby.
Right then. I would offer our assistance, but we'll be leaving shortly to go to Grothfield. I'm sure you know why.
I'd hazard a guess. Probably trying to get some help in this war. I'd still be careful, though. Grothfield is a refuge for the plane hunters that had to flee the Fallows territory. It's safe there for them.
That may mean that we have a slight advantage. Something in our favor.
Indeed.
I'm not too sure the full number that are there, but I know at least 2 of our plane hunter groups are there. Roughly about same level as you guys, maybe a bit weaker.
Are they a specific group? Maybe a name?
2 groups we got over there are the Outcast, mostly comprised of beast folk or like goblins and such. And we've got Orton, which is survivors of a village that got destroyed by a dragon.
Do either of those names sound familiar to us?
Nope.
Okay.
There's a lot of plane hunter
Timothy.
groups. The only ones you know off the top of your head is Juratorn, which is the Three Dragonborns, Sharpclaw, which is Kalamin's group, the Omegas. No explanation needed there. And those are the main ones that you know.
What about Sean Aladrin's group?
That's Sharpclaw. That's Kalamin's group.
Sharpclaw.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kalamin
if
named
that's
his
the
group
case-
after himself.
What
sure I
a
mentioned-
jackass.
Pretty sure I mentioned
One
this a
of them
while
said-
ago. It's
I
just been a
didn't
while.
realize that it was after himself.
Wait, who named the group after himself?
Kalamin.
Ketamine.
Oh, of course.
Do you know the location of Sharpclaw?
We're on a job to the Bone Swamps a while back. Should be back within a few days, though.
Would you say within a week?
I mean, it's about 2 days to the Bone Swamps from here. So
4. Alright. Alright, if that's the case, if they show up here, could you tell Aladrin that I wish to speak with him?
Alright, where are you gonna be?
What is that place called? The Raven's Nest?
Raven's Call.
Raven's Call. Alright. We're going to be at the Raven's Call.
Alright, I'll also let Neri know that you stopped by.
I take out the dragon leg bone and hand it to him. Will you make sure she gets this, please?
Is that a bleeding dragon bone?
Yes, I thought she would like to eat it and gain the dragon's power.
He sort of like reaches forward and grabs it and sort of like starts absorbing it. Just sort of like compares it to like with his own height.
How big was this
It's
dragon?
still pretty fresh.
Right. Not big, it's not pretty big.
You are
An
sounding
adult
quieter
would-
and quieter, Ed.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was definitely an adult of some sort.
It's impressive. Very few gain that ability to best an adult dragon. I'll definitely hand it to her. Though she'll probably change into like a mole or something. She needs a proper replacement after her croc jaw got shattered.
Did it get shattered while we were here?
No.
Okay.
Wait, what did you say? Did you say her crotch got shattered?
No.
No.
The croc jaw that she used as her weapon. And you actually notice, like, in the distance, or like propped up, you can see the croc jaw, and you can see it is definitely broken in the middle.
Aww.
Rip.
She's
I don't suppose so.
she's got a great sword now. Don't worry, we take care of our own.
I don't suppose soaking that in milk would have helped.
No. She actually suggested that. Took a while to explain to her that that's not how milk works. You drink it
Of
to
course.
get stronger bones. You don't soak it. But, I'll let Elmer know.
Thank you.
Just out of curiosity, what's Gradam doing these days?
I don't know. He, just comes by.
He comes by.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't say anything.
Talked about just how we're doing. We ask him how he's doing. You know, typical stuff.
I suppose he just seemed more rambunctious to me.
He's... How should I put it? He's got a good heart. And he cares deeply for every plane hunter. Without a doubt, what's going on right now is probably weighing heavily on him.
I see. I don't know why I always feel the need to do this, but I am sorry for the situation that we are in.
No need to apologize. Not your fault.
Them's just like the crippling guilt of being associated.
Well, keep in mind, I don't think you ever told Young your proper name.
No, he's... she's known as Briar, so...
Prior to you leave.
It's not your fault.
I suppose. If you need any assistance while we're here, I'm sure that we would be more than happy to help. The plane hunters have assisted us more than you know.
Well, if we need you, I'll let you know.
Thank you.
Alright. So, unless you guys have anything particular you're going to do, or if that was done over the course of a few days, we'll go to the interview stuff. Yay! I hate interviews.
It's your fault, Dawson.
Okay. So, at the beginning of the day, you're in the Ravens call. Harleth meets you in the morning with, with a few bits of paper. And he said, right, so, some of them bowed out, assholes, but we got two groups of people and three individuals that are coming as guards. All the staff pulled out, though, barring two. And obviously the guild have just said, they'll send their premium price. Norium.
Is there a reason for their backing out?
What's that, sorry?
Is there a specific reason for their backing out?
They found other work. Probably.
That's fair.
They don't need to. I never told them to provide a reason for it. I just assumed they found other work.
Never seen nods.
Okay. So, Norium meets you in the Ravens call as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right, well, so I've been put up to date on this situation. So, I would propose that we simply ask them what their particular skills are. And initially, let's ask them what they're willing to be paid. The important thing is that we don't decide right away. Because if we say yes at the very first person, a better person might come later on.
Nemesis, gives a very clear, nod. She trusts her brother, knows what he's doing.
Right, I'll do a majority of the talking, but if any of you wish to speak up, you're certainly free to. So...
Yay, interviews.
Don't worry, this won't be
the mundane of the mundane.
This won't be proper, like, the actual interviews. Any of you that sit down an interview, it won't fully be like that. It'll be very quickly rapid-fire stuff. So, so the first one that comes in, as Harloof has agreed to, like, point people in the right direction, it's a human. He looks to be roughly in his 20s. Long, black, greasy hair with some leather armor. He sort of looks around nervously, spotting you all. He comes over to the table and sort of, like, sits down. Right, well, welcome. Your name, please? Oh, my name's Oscar. Oscar. Right. Can I ask what you were doing before this? Oh, well, I was a Lord's Guard, sir. I worked there, decided to leave, but I've gone through all the training and such. Right. And your Lord's Guard training is what you assume is best for this? Oh, I'm used to guarding stuff. Right. Do any of you have any questions for him?
Can I insight him? He seems very nervous. Can I see why that may be?
Make an insight
If
check.
it's obvious. All right. Oh, sure. When Norium rolls insight, it's a 20. When Nemesis rolls insight, it's a nat 1.
Equation does bring up a good question.
Yeah, why aren't you still a Lord's Guard?
Oh, I just didn't like what was going on there, so I left.
What was going on there?
Just, I'm gonna have Norium do an insight check. Wow, Norium, you rolled low as well. Just, it was a lot of, out in the field work, which I'm not a fan of. Much prefer just, God in a place.
All right, and would you say that you were good at your job previously?
Yeah. I mean, as I say, I weren't fired, I left, so clearly I must have been doing something right.
Would you mind if we contacted your previous employers?
Sure.
And I didn't quite catch your last name. What was that?
Oscar Armrent.
Have we asked him what his rate would be?
Nope. Very well. My question is, if we were to hire you, how much would you want to be paid a month? Oh, I'll do this for 4 silver a month. 4 silver. That seems rather cheap for guard duty. Well, that's what I was paid as a Lord's Guard.
I'm just gonna look to Nemesis and Nori, is this true?
Oh, don't look at all. It was... We had people paid to guard the manor specifically. They were paid a bit more than that. Very well, Oscar. If that's the case, if we believe that you're suitable, then we'll be in contact with you. All right. So stands up and quietly leaves.
Here, I'll show you the way out.
No, I can do it myself. Thank you.
No,
I'm a big boy.
Okay. So you lead him outside.
I don't trust that guy.
Yeah, it seemed a little bit sus.
I don't think he is suspicious, but I think his situation is.
Honestly, I think that this is a case of he's not experienced enough.
I
Oh,
could
I was
see
thinking
that,
more along
yes.
the lines of him not being paid much leads to him bringing in people that would like to take our stuff that could pay him a lot more.
True, though. Keep in mind,
Only if we don't pay him well.
Well, keep in mind as well that he wouldn't be the only guard. All right. The next one comes in. This one is familiar. It's a human female. Tall, very tall, nearly as tall as Nemesis. Bright blonde hair, and light green eyes. You recognize it as Jessie from Holmandow. Your night guard. She walks in, just kind of spots you all. She just smiles and sits down. It's like, well, well. Look who showed up. Hey, dwarf man.
Shouldn't we be saying that about you?
Whatever. Hey, dwarf man. You haven't fallen in any ponds, have you? No sleepwalking issues?
You said Jessie?
Yeah.
Her name wasn't Jessie.
Was it? Was it not? It was Gemma, wasn't it? Gemma.
It was Gemma.
Sorry, I must have been... Oh, I know why.
Vincent, Zessa, and Gemma.
That's why I got confused with Zessa and whatchamacallit and Gemma, and for some reason my brain...
Yeah.
Yeah, Gemma, sorry. So do I need to go through this business, or can my history as United Guard speak for itself?
Nemesis. She can't resist a smile. Well, I don't know, Norium. You're the one in charge of all that.
I mean, technically the deed is in your name. No, I guess that wouldn't be necessary, but what about how much you wish to be paid? The same as we paid you, or you just see her frown? You pay me 2 gold a month for that. Nah. Tell you what. You give me 4 gold a month. Do whatever you want me to do.
We'd be a fool not to accept that, Norium.
We would, though we have to go through our normal thing. Consider yourself top of the list, Gemma. We do have other interviews. Yeah?
Nemesis looks at Gemma, and she just gives this expression of, like, don't worry.
Well,
Okay.
if you need me, I'm currently in the logger's stump.
Is there someone else there with you?
You mean Vincent?
Mm-hmm.
He's still at the manor. He didn't get fired for doing a doppelganger stunt, unlike me.
I apologize for that.
Whatever. He's gonna kind of stick with that stuck-up bitch anyhow.
I trust this hasn't affected your relationship.
I mean, long distance is a little bit hard to do, but we make good. We make good on what we can do.
Nemesis gives a nod at that. Like, there are also bonuses to Vincent still being there.
E.
All right, Gemma stands up and just quickly leaves with a smile on her face. Very shortly afterwards, another individual shows up. This one is a halfling, male, looks to be in his 30s. You can see he's got like some dark leather armor and a crossbow slung over his back.
Sorry, I got 911 approved.
Oh, I thought you were excited to see a halfling.
No. My thing got approved, so I'm excited.
All right. So he climbs up onto the chair and sits down. Norim starts with his normal stuff. Right, so, your name, please? Sylvan Fleetfoot. I'm, part of a group, you see. Not just me, it's, me and some other folk. Right, and this group is... we're part of a group of plane hunters called the Castiles. Not gonna lie. Turns out hunting big beasties is not really our forte. And all the, the beasts and such that comes in... no, you haven't heard of the Castiles. Like, obviously we can deal with your beasts, but then you're talking to ogres and trolls and such, it's, not our thing. But, we heard that, that Summerdale is, owned by the God's Headache, and, well, that's making the rounds here in the Plain Hunters, let me tell you. So I figured, why don't me and my lads, help out? So, here I am.
So, the rest, or at least some of your party is here with you?
Well, they're in Exeter, they're not physically here. Like, they're not outside or anything.
No, I just mean, would they be included?
Yeah.
Have you guys decided on a wage that you would prefer?
So there's 5 of us in total, including me. We talked about it, and we kinda leaning more towards 20 to 25 gold a month, and that covers all 5 of us.
So that
So
5 gold.
he said that, is it 5 including him?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
that's
so that 5 gold.
5 gold for each of them. Okay.
What kind of skill set do you and each of your fellow members possess?
We're more of the physical type, though. One of the lasses, she's a cleric.
That could be useful.
Yeah. We've got you got me, who's a bit more of a.
He sort of like taps his crossbow.
More of the from a distant lot. Got one that's pretty versatile with both melee and range. You got the cleric. She likes her spells. The elf that we got, she that's probably the only thing I'd warn about. She's a bit rowdy. Has a bit of a short fuse. The other one's a human male. Also is a fighter, but like me, kind of prefers range.
A rowdy elf?
Aye. Big as well. Like, talking tall as that lass.
Points to Nemesis.
Nemesis raises a brow at that.
Now this is something I gotta look out for.
Is she mixed?
Nah. Pure-blooded.
Just big?
Aye. Oh,
Unusual.
she swings around a grey axe. A big un.
Having that kind of diversity would be very good.
What, for our brand, or?
In general, having different skill sets to guard the estate, it would be useful.
Indeed it would be.
I'm just concerned about them stabbing us in the back while we're gone.
I don't think we'd have to worry about that if Gemma was there. She looks back at Noria.
Yes, she swings.
We would also have Nori as our stay-at-home nerd, so you know.
Stay at home nerd.
Yeah, but Nori
Just to check, Sylvant, you have no issue with answering to a person of higher standing than you, no?
Well, I'm not really, no. I mean, if the person knows what they're doing, then sure. But, if it's like some, wet behind the ears fella, then probably not.
Oh, I assure you, we've already got a shortlist from somebody who has done this work probably for most of her life.
Then I wouldn't have too much of an issue. It'd be a bit weird, not being the captain anymore, but...
But you can play nice.
Oh, aye, can play nice, aye. Yeah. If you saw Arbra, it's the really tall elf one, you'll learn that you have to work with her.
Are you saying that she's troublesome?
Sure-fused.
I completely relate.
Sure-fused, and when she loses her temper, she can get a bit, violent.
So what you're saying is barbarian.
Yeah, I guess. Not very cultured.
She wouldn't hurt anyone on staff, right? Unless completely necessary.
Completely necessary or drunk off her ass.
No drinking on the job.
Figured.
You'd be surprised. Looks at
Would
Drothnar.
there be any other concerns with any other mates of yours?
I've been dry for like 2 months, but whatever.
What kind of god does, you guys got like a chapel or something in there?
We have a
Actually,
chapel,
yes, we do.
What god do you guys worship in there?
It's, what's the word, non-denominal?
So just to the Alliance, basically. Gotcha.
That's fine then.
Yeah. Do you think that, I believe you're referring to your cleric when you ask that question.
Aye.
Is there some sort of problem with a specific deity that she has?
Aye. She isn't a big fan of Celestine, I should say.
Well, we aren't very specific, so I doubt that would be too much of an issue as long as she's polite.
Yeah, I mean, Celestine was part of the Alliance, but if the chapel's to the Alliance, then she's not gonna have much of an issue.
Alright. Are there any other questions that you may have? And she looks to the group.
Not even says. No, I think that's quite fine.
Alright then. Thank you.
Really, Gracious?
Oh my god.
Sylvan just looks over at Gratian.
I never asked her.
And
I'm
he jumps off the chair and just leaves at that.
God, I can't wait to lose all my money in a sexual harassment lawsuit, Gratian.
Could we not be lecherous to our employees?
I'm more
Possible
surprised-
employees.
I'm more surprised that Gratian was the one who asked it.
Mark my words, if we have any problems with Min in the estate, you will be kicked out, not the employees. I doubt I have to worry about Nori at all. You three, though.
Who does she look to there?
Gratian, Delson, and Trothnar.
That's fair.
The door opens again. This one is a warforge. You can see that he's got mostly metal plates on the upper part of his head, but it very quickly goes into just like bark and stone. You can see he's wearing what looks almost like a gi, but it is in tatters. As he just kind of like looks around, he notices you all, and he just sits down and just stares at you all.
Hi.
Greetings.
Hello?
Or even-
What's your name?
I call myself Yen.
Yen, are you, forgive me for asking, are you sentient?
Correct.
All right. And can you tell us maybe about yourself, any experience that you may have?
I traveled to Aryo, where I trained with the various monk orders. It was there where I attained my sentience. I grew tired of the area and decided I wished to explore new avenues. I was given a parting gift, indicates to his tattered gi, and found work. Mostly bodyguard duty. And now I have seen this offer, and I wish to offer my services.
Do you always wear that?
It is not. It is customary for you to wear clothes, is it not? That is what I am doing.
Ah, all right. So if we gave you another set of clothes, you would wear those?
If I am required to, then yes.
Okay.
You don't have a uniform. You
And
can't force them to wear the clothes you want to wear, can you?
well,
We'd have to have
technically,
a
if there
guard
would be a
uniform for them.
uniform. See, she knows. What wage would you have? Or what would you prefer?
Well, I'm very well aware that as you require sleep, you would have to have 2 shifts. Due to my unique composition as a warforge, I would be able to do both shifts. Therefore, I would feel that 6 gold a month to be able to cover both shifts would be suitable.
I see then.
And you said you were trained with monks, correct? So you're quite speedy?
Correct.
That'd be pretty good on the outer perimeter at all times.
Hell yeah.
Is there anything that you do require?
4 hours to recharge, but I would hope that wouldn't be too difficult if there are multiple guards.
Yes, of course. And again, I'm sorry for asking. Were there any problems with your sentience
I do
in the
believe...
initial stages?
I was told that I went a bit punch-happy.
But you don't feel concerned that that will happen again?
I have been sentient for about a decade, and that is yet to happen again, so I believe I am okay.
All right, then.
I lean in and whisper to Nemesis, you know, we could always just have him rest in one of the guest rooms that we have. That way he doesn't really have to leave the manor to recharge.
Keep in mind, you've got servant quarters.
Yeah, we have servant quarters.
True.
Yeah.
But he works so hard, he can use a guest room.
Okay.
All right.
So,
Yeah, that's the end of my questions.
well,
Does
you've...
Nori have any questions?
No, Nemesis actually asked all the questions I had.
Nemesis looks kind of proud of herself. Just like, hair flip.
We'll
Aye.
get in contact with you if you are successful. The Yen just bows and quickly leaves. Right, almost done. 2 more sets to go. The next
Alright
one
then.
comes in. This one is a goblin, female. She's got large amber eyes. Her hair's sort of like tied up in a bun. Heavily armored, wearing scale mail.
Does she got big boobies?
Roll a d20 for me.
I'm gonna pay for making an out of character joke.
Yeah. What should be natural one to like a concave chest?
Yes, she does.
Yes.
Hey. Hey.
Okay.
You see, she sort of spots you all, walks up to the table. Doesn't even sit down, just leans on the table and goes, "Right, 40 a month for me, my group of 6." Thumka looks taken aback. I'm sorry, but what? You need guards. We're guards, and we'll do it for 40 gold a month.
What's your experience?
The experience is me and my group used to be mercenaries over in the continent of Karmora.
The
What?
islands.
Yes, the island continent.
What brought you here then?
They went ahead and went for a period of peace, shall we say.
And I suppose your group has different skills that they can offer?
Oh, aye. You can kind of tell from my get-up, I'm a bit of a up-close, up-front fighter. We got a Minotaur. She's usually like a frontline person. We got a Veldican. She's a spellcaster.
Veldikins do exist in this world.
There was one in Graffield.
There was?
Yeah, he was a host of the Planehunters Guild in Graffield.
Oh yeah.
Veldican are the posh, snooty blue people, aren't
Kind of.
they? Okay.
Okay.
So they're British but blue.
I couldn't remember
It's one of the people.
if they actually existed in Karmora.
Yeah, they do.
Alright.
We got a dwarf. I mean, she's more of a of our smithery, but she knows how to wield a hammer. We got a new addition actually. Think I should be 100% honest. We used to be a group of 5, we were a group of 6. Yes, Fortune. Or yes, Anna. Because I know it's Anna asking, not Fortune. One of these really weird things calls herself a Simic. She's bloody stealthy. So she tends to keep an eye out in the shadow. Then we got a bloke who used to be did a bit of piracy in his day. Sort of hung that up to be a bit of a fighter. He's definitely the weakest, but he's damn resourceful.
I see then. God, I feel like they have like a fucking like judge pen and paper. And you said 40 a month.
That'll cover all 6 of us.
All right. Are there any questions that you lot have?
How long did you say your newest member was with you?
About a month. A month and a half.
I mean, it would make
And Tom,
sense
checking
with
with
their
you, you said it was
resurgence.
systemic, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which time frame wise would match up, because I think
Yeah.
it was about 3-4 months ago. in game that you were in Platinum Hold when that happened.
Yep.
I was trying to remember dates. Thank you. Gratian asked a question for her.
I mean, I think it's pretty fair.
Why? How much are you thinking?
Did the other guy say 25 gold?
25 for 5
Yeah.
pieces.
20 to 25, he said.
20 to 25. All right. Then, considering your number and your experience, maybe 30 to 35.
35. If you can get one more to help cover both shifts and day one, then aye, I'll be fine with that.
Nemesis gives a nod.
Can
We've had some interesting prospects. How good are you with working with others and maybe taking orders?
I mean, for me, it depends on how well they impress me. So if
All right, how about this? If we already have someone picked as a head guard to rule over you lot, can you follow their orders?
and maybe wouldn't have said rule, but okay.
Rule.
I couldn't think of the word.
I mean, I'll probably do some poking and prodding here, see if they're the real deal. But if they are, then sure.
Can I roll insight to see if they may be this goblin may not be, might have an ulterior motive wanting to be a guard for
He's so quiet.
Make an insight check.
Am I really quiet?
Now you're not.
Okay, sorry, I know. Insight check.
I've never heard Trothner speak so quietly.
Right?
Man, he really has
So
changed
peaceful.
since stopped drinking.
I mean, if you like it, I can make it another thing.
12. Difficult to read.
Oh, Willies, okay. Oh, because I got a question. Like, with a crew like that, you could be going around as some of the most successful, notorious mercenary adventurers this side of Rabasra. Why do you want to settle down and just hang out in the middle of an estate outside Exeter?
There comes a point in life where you just kind of get tired of the same thing. To us, that moment of peace, we came here because we heard of the conflict going, and
Good idea, yeah, right.
and
Don't want to make
it didn't have the same spark, I guess we were just kind of tired of it.
Do you think that you'll get tired of this?
Well, if I do, then I'm out of job, ain't I? We're out of job.
God damn it, Delson.
That's accurate. I'm just hoping that you wouldn't up and leave.
Look, if it worries you too much, I'll make sure to put in me 2 weeks' notice.
Alright then. I think that sounds fine to me. I don't think I have any more questions. Can we pay them in a ranch? What?
In Cool Ranch Doritos, duh.
No, it's fucking Eric Andre. Yeah.
Alright,
Ranch it up.
so she leaves. No one just kind of like rubs
I
his
just-
temples.
And whisper.
I
"Are
liked
we
that
sure they're
one.
not rats?"
She's very intense.
Not sure if I trust that, to be honest.
I think we can all agree Gemma is at least going to be our head guard, yes?
Aye.
Clearly.
Most certainly.
So
Was there
it's-
any doubt?
So it's just the others then.
Not
Right.
trained in charge, eh?
We could always have Neria trained to be second in command with her.
Potentially.
I'm sure she'd like to boss them around a little bit.
She's
That's
quite
true.
intimidating to keep in
Honestly,
mind.
Neri is just here for the food and board.
Hmm.
Fair enough.
At this point, you hear someone clear their throat nearby. Looking up, you see two half-orcs. One a male, the other one a female. The female looks to be roughly in her late teens, rather short, light green hair, brown shoulder-length brown hair that's sort of like tied up in a small ponytail. The male looks a lot older, maybe mid-40s. Completely bald, dark green skin. If it weren't for the fact that his face looks relatively human-like, you would have confused him from an orc because of the size of his tusks.
Mm-hmm. He got big tusks.
Excuse,
Yeah. What the? Sorry.
excuse me, fellows. Is this the interviews for the Summerdale house?
That's
Aye,
correct.
that'd be.
This is my daughter Slayer, and my name is Huang. We are here for the servant role.
Did we
The
have
staffing position.
Yeah.
Yeah, for staff.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were just doing the bodyguards first. Okay.
Do you have any experience with such a position?
Um,
Position.
My daughter mainly worked for one of the lower Rona nobles until that noble was disowned by the family. After which she had lost her job. I'm not so much, but I have been taught by my daughter to work in things like this.
What is your situation then?
I was a woodworker. It was just a simple case of the Coggles manufactory began to sort of walk into what I used to make children's toys, you see. And the Coggles manufactory started to make those as well, and has sort of near driven me out of business.
Aw.
My soul!
Can we just hire him out of sheer sympathy? And just like have
Please.
him making.
Are we taking any damage from heartbreak here?
Right?
Creation, make an insight check.
Oh my god, does this mean we can get someone to make
Difficult to read.
Alternate action figures?
We could.
I have a question to
Toys
you.
for Scamper.
Yes.
How would you feel? How do you feel about working near gardens and other wooden structures?
I mean, woodworking is what I did before having to start changing my profession to, cooking and cleaning and everything.
You'd be quite capable as a handy person.
Yes, I would. My wife would have been the gardener in regular circumstances.
What
Would have
happened?
been?
Unfortunately, she has gone beyond the barrier.
I'm taking so much damage right now.
Yeah, you do.
I understand. I'm sorry for your and your daughter's loss.
It was about 15 years ago.
Slayer here, unfortunately, doesn't remember much of her, but it's fine. I picked up a few tricks from her.
What would your preferred wage be?
See, this is a bit difficult for us. We would be happy to work for 1 gold a month. However, I would not want us to work a day shift, night shift kind of deal.
Interesting. May I ask why? Is it simply just it would be too much for both of you?
No, there's been many a time where I've been awoken by my daughter returning home after a night shift. She looked awful from it, and I'm not a fan of the night myself either.
Nemesis nods. Well, there wouldn't be too much to do at night, don't you think, Nori?
No, I
Unless
suppose.
something breaks down.
I suppose not. So what would be the situation in regards to the rooms and such?
Well, I can't promise it'll be kept immaculate, but we'll make sure the rooms which are frequently used the most are to be prioritized for cleaning and everything. And obviously, if there's guests over, we'll make sure they're ready and such. The food and everything, we can handle that either from our own pocket or if you have a budget.
A budget can be arranged.
I'm just thinking if there's anything else that I'd be interested in knowing.
How do you feel about guards coming in and out for their shift swap?
I mean, if we time it right, we can probably go to sleep when the shift is changing over.
Might be something to discuss with the guards themselves.
What about... Are you experienced with horses?
No. Not at all, I'm afraid.
Alright. I'm just trying to think of if there's anything else. You guys have anything?
Is his daughter a mute?
The daughter, like, she'll glare. No, as a matter of fact, I'm not.
I wasn't meant to be rude. I was wondering why your dad was speaking.
I'm just.
I don't need to speak if there's no reason for me to.
You can always
Can I
leave
just-
his room to himself. Don't worry about it.
I
like
apologize for it. He's an idiot.
Right.
You said that you had experience with another house, right?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Are you familiar with the duties of a head maid?
Vaguely, I was not a head maid. I simply was just told where to clean, and that was it. And, what to cook.
Alright then. I suppose that wouldn't be much of a problem. We'd just have to manage a schedule, Nori.
Well, I'm pretty sure a schedule... That's actually a good question. How are you on terms of schedules?
If I'm quite honest, sir, not very well. As I said, if room, I'll obviously check if rooms are, looked after and such. But for the most part, I'm not very good at them.
Interesting. Well, if nobody has anything else, I'd say that will be all.
Thank you, sir.
He quickly goes away. Norin leads back, looks at the parchment. And outside of the guilds, which I'll deal with myself if need be, that's everyone.
Hmm.
So, I'm thinking. Obviously, hire Gemma. Obviously, hire Slayer and her dad. The second group, the mercenaries from the islands, and then maybe Yen as well.
Well,
The only thing that worries me about Slayer and her dad is her dad saying he's not good with scheduling.
I mean,
With
yes, he
Nemesis
doesn't
story,
seem.
they're gonna need some pretty deep cleaning of the place quite often. No offense to either of you, Nemesis, I love you, but you're high maintenance.
that is more my sister's thing than me, thank you very much.
Oh, Rory, do we need to get a separate type of lock for your library?
Well, I don't believe...
I'm assuming you want nobody else but you going in there?
Probably, but there is no library in Summerdale, so... I don't
Don't
think...
worry.
Get one made eventually.
Yes.
Oh
and
no,
when-
trust me, he will commandeer a room and fill it with books.
Yes, and then if that's the case, I will simply get a lock installed on there.
How many floors up is our tower?
3 floors.
He could have the top floor, if he doesn't mind sharing it with Archimedes.
The top of the tower was for Valeth, which Valeth was shouting, so... actually, that was meant for me, to commune with Room.
Although, is he really going to be communicating with him now?
At this point,
I mean, in regards to a schedule, I'm... You know, a lot of things have changed. I'm happy to see what happens if they don't work with a schedule, and if it doesn't work, I simply say, here's a schedule, follow it or get out.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree,
can
Gemma should be our
agree
head
with that.
guard.
Indeed.
I think if we go with the second group, well, I mean, either way, that would mean that Gemma would get a higher pay raise than she asked.
Indeed. She would.
And she rightfully deserves it.
Yes, that's, I think that's an agreement there. She was rather underpaid under our services.
2 gold. That makes me so sad for her.
I can't believe it.
You were robbing her blind for her great
You
service.
know,
We didn't control the payments.
That was our
every
parents.
time- the more I hear about about Natalia, the less I like her. Genuinely.
Why would you even like her
this is
remotely?
like fueling the
Right?
fire to kill her ourselves. That was already there.
Yep. I think I would have a little bit more trust for the Castiles, if I'm being honest.
Well, we should at least check with what's left of the Plains Hunters about them, see what their reputation there is.
Fair enough.
And
You said Zeeming or Beaming
then the
Quantum?
matter of the guilds. How much do you think they're going to go for?
Well, the guilds would probably try to get as much gold as we can. I did some asking around, and in terms of staff, the guards were asking for 50 gold a month, and the servants were asking for 40 gold a month, and that would have covered a full set. Which is within the budget that I said that we have, but that's why we do these interviews, for a better price.
Well, technically, if we were to pick the guards from here, if we only got staff from there, then that would be more sufficient.
Especially if we can have at least one guard for sure take over the night and the day shift. That's really handy.
Indeed.
Well, just thinking about it.
I agree
He
with Gratian, though.
said-
We should have a follow-up with both of the groups. I want to meet each of them.
Indeed. Same.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna take at least one of the groups. And then we have
We could have
Gemma.
them fight each other.
Yeah, I trust the Castiles more, but I think the second group are much more capable.
Yeah, because I mean, the Castiles said that they weren't cut out for plane hunters, and if that's the case, I'm like, then can you defend this place? I mean, obviously, it's not going to be as hard a job, but if that's the case, I would recommend follow-ups with the two groups to see essentially meet the people that we would be hiring.
Mhm.
And then
Young and
Gemma
Pearson-
and one more guard, I think, would be all right.
So, potentially Yen?
That's what I was thinking.
Same.
So,
Yeah, for Oscar.
say we paid everyone the
The amount that they're asking.
well, wouldn't it be like, because they're all guards, they'd be paid the same amount technically?
Yeah.
So the highest one that we got, not including the group because they said that it was negotiable, was Yen at 6.
Yep.
So then that would be 6 times 8, I think.
Yep, that would be...
So that would actually be 48, which would be more than both the groups and Gemma were asking.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And then there's the issue of staff. We can go to the guild, but then they'll ask for 40 gold a month. Or we can trust this duo.
How much did they say?
1 gold a month for each of them, so 2 gold a month.
So then that would be 50 gold. That would be shockingly cheap.
Well, keep in mind that the guild was offering a full staff, so cleaners and maids and cooks and all that.
I think we should at least give them a trial period. What is it? Some places like 30 days? Give them a month of work, see how they do.
I can agree with that.
And maybe a bit more than just 1 gold apiece.
Well, of course. I think that we'd have the funds to pay them a bit more.
I was thinking increasing their pay, but having them, with that increase in pay, have them be in charge of the food and everything, stocking the storehouse and everything. And what remains from that extra amount, they get to keep. It
I'd
wouldn't
say
be
that
it wouldn't
that
be a
would be-
full gold more, but dependingly, it shouldn't be a large amount deducted from that.
I'd say that that's fair. The trial period and the increase in their wage coming with the buying their own food.
Very well. I will arrange for the two groups to meet us in, shall we say, another 2 or 3 days?
I'd say that that's fair, but I feel like they should come at different times rather than waiting with each other.
Indeed.
So we're going to
Wouldn't
speak
wanna
to
fight.
them individually and not as a group.
No, I mean,
Group A will come at like
yes, thank
8
you.
a.m. Group B can come at like noon.
I'll get that arranged. I assume here again?
Yeah.
I'd say that's best, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I still like the idea of having the groups duke it out to see which one's stronger in the end.
We are not having potential employees fight each
I mean,
other.
you guys forget that we're in the city of the Blood Pit.
Like, what better way to make sure your guards can handle themselves than to beat up the competition?
That's it.
I'll ask Gemma to partake in this as well. If she's going to be head guard, they'll be answering to her.
Nori,
Indeed.
you're condoning this? This seems a bit barbaric.
I just said that Gemma will look them over and speak to them herself.
Oh, thank goodness. I thought that you were having them fight each other. That'd be crazy.
I mean, if they're offering to settle it over a fight, it would actually be rather amusing to watch.
Would Gemma be able
But I
to
think
handle?
you only have to fight at least the head leader for the groups. It wouldn't be fair to put her through all of them.
Yes, Gemma's
No,
tough,
no.
but I doubt she'd be able to take them all on herself.
We are not having them fight each other.
Oh, come on, I
Alright, hands up,
watched
who
one.
wants to do this?
Or we could solve this the Trostnar method and have them arm wrestle.
Mm,
This is totally unprofessional, and I am surprised at your behavior.
I may have watched one or two fights at the Blood Pit since they are still doing them, and I might have had quite a bit of enjoyment in it.
No, she just like stares at him. You're not sure if she's shocked, appalled, or both.
Yes.
What? You partook in one of them. Don't look at me like that.
Of course, I partook in one of them, but partaking and getting satisfaction out of watching it is different.
It's exciting! You get close fights all the time, and it's crazy on who's gonna win.
I think that you're just bored out of your mind.
I may be bored out of my mind, actually, yes. Well, either way, I shall get the paperwork sorted. I'll send the invitations out to those free to join us. We'll have them start next week. It's probably best.
Alright then.
We should probably let Neri know that these ones are okay.
Don't eat them.
You know, I haven't actually met this Neri yet.
These
I
are
think I might have
friends.
seen her fight in the Blood Pits, but I've never actually properly met her.
Well, then
we
we'll
would
have
need to
to set
find
up an
Garrett.
arrangement.
are we gonna have to spray everyone that's on the staff with a very specific perfume so Neri knows if you smell this, they are good. If you
Spray their
don't smell this,
uniform.
they are bad.
I am going to look to Nemesis with a trolley look on my face. So you're saying that's a date for him and Neri?
Excuse
Okay,
me?
now Nemesis looks appalled. Now listen here, if you think that I would ever set my brother up with that lizard, there is no chance.
And
And the third
now-
fuck up for the day is going to Dawson! Da-da-da-da!
And with that,
Elf literally just laughing and enjoying himself at that.
with that outburst and the somewhat mini argument that takes place, that's what we're going to call it for this session.
Oh my god.
Another session I must go without knowing if I got my scrolls.